Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Game Station podcast. We're actually on time for once. This is unbelievable.
I feel good about that.
Yeah, it's curious, really, when you think about it. We're on
Go
time.
on.
We're on time, and yet we're missing somebody. Could there be some kind of correlation? I don't know.
No, it's you, me, and Dodger. Looks good.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sorry, I had the color of my hair converted into a shirt. That's why I have brown hair.
Oh,
And you also became a man. But you're looking good, Dodger. You look great. You've never looked better, really. Never.
I do think so.
Cause you seem much more approachable. Not a snob like you usually are.
that's very
Really,
true.
yeah. I gotta have my mug, and I gotta be like, it's coffee time.
I always get this weird air of superiority when I'm within about 20 feet of Dodger. It's like, I don't really want to talk to this person anymore, and then I just walk away.
Here's hoping she's not gonna watch this podcast when she.
But now that you're here, I feel like we can really talk. Like,
Yeah.
we can talk. We can bond now, really.
Yeah,
Think
I
about
know.
this.
Yeah. So we're gonna be the two ones that are talking all the time, and TB is just gonna be left in the dust over there.
Yeah, I'm just going to sit there, play Devil May Cry, muck about with my new Razer Onza, which supposedly is great until about a week later, and then it breaks or whatever. It looks something like that. I like it so far. It's a
I
nice...
just have my junky Logitech.
Oh,
My
it's
good
nothing-
old standard.
Nothing junky about Logitech. That controller's a great controller. But I thought I'd try it out. I went into Best Buy yesterday, which apparently...
Oh, there's your first mistake.
Well, it was one of the first ways to celebrate my newfound freedom in America after having finally got my green card and ended all of this immigration nonsense.
Congratulations. Welcome.
And I just happened to be in... I actually went into Best Buy so that Jen could buy a Vita because she's almost beaten Persona 3. And I
What
was like,
a coincidence!
yes, indeed. And
I bought it at Best Buy too.
Yeah, mine's lying around here somewhere.
Oh.
The price of Best Buy is actually pretty good. You can... I believe you can get the Call of Duty edition of the Vita, which you wouldn't want it because the Call of Duty game is literally the worst game on the Vita. It's dreadful.
I've heard it's really bad.
It's the single player is quite literally unplayably awful. But the version comes with like a free memory card, and it costs the same at Best Buy as the normal one. So it's like, well, why not? And she wanted Persona 4 Golden for it because
That's why. Sorry, go ahead.
that's why pretty much everyone's bought it. That's what you're about to say, right?
Well, I got it for that as well as the PlayStation Plus deals this month. I had like some unspent Best Buy gift cards, so I got it cheaper. So I got it cheaper, took advantage of the PlayStation Plus deals this month because both Uncharted and
Ninja Gaiden just went on it too.
Yeah, so I took advantage of those because I already had PlayStation Plus. So I figured like for that it would be a good deal if I could get it for less than retail and do that. Yeah, I shouldn't sidetrack it like with the story of how I got it, but hey.
Oh, it's fine. I mean, we went in there to get that, and we sorted it out. I went in to pick up a copy of Ni no Kuni, and they, of course, being Best Buy, they didn't have any good games. So I decided to just buy it off PSN instead, which was actually fine, because it was $5 cheaper than it would have been with a physical copy. But it is like a 27-gigabyte download as well, which is oh yeah, now I remember why I don't buy Blu-ray games digitally. Yeah, that would explain it.
How was that game originally on the DS again?
I have no idea. I'm not going to try and figure that one out at all, but I now have that, and I'm probably going to play a little bit of that, honestly, hopefully today, and really start digging into that. My JRPG...
Nice.
My JRPG this is not a real sentence, try again. My desire to play JRPGs has been rekindled by Persona. Unfortunately, I've ground to a halt on Persona 3 because... It's just, yeah, I'll get to Xenoblade. I'm gonna play that. I'm gonna play that on my PC.
Is it really that good?
Apparently it is genuinely good.
Holy shit.
Yes!
Whoa.
I like every one of their brothers like, Ni no Kuni good. I'm like, all right, I'll try that. And now people are like, Xenoblade, just play it, bro. Just play it. I'm like, I don't think So yeah, I'm stuck. And now I gotta play both.
I'm very excitable when it comes to Xenoblade.
I feel like February is that month where I just am gonna disappear from just reality and play games nonstop. Because I've seen a lot of blogs where people are posting like, I have 12 games I need to catch up on this month. I don't know what happened, but they decided to just dump games on us right now. So
yeah,
great.
there's quite a lot coming our way this month and next month, honestly. So it's a bit ridiculous, but I wanted to enjoy Persona 3, but I feel that because I played Persona 4 Golden, it is quite literally impossible for me to enjoy Persona 3.
It's a bit of a step down. It's like how you
Oh,
you should always play the earlier entries first if you intend on playing the whole series. Cause
yeah,
you're never...
I'm a dumbass. I am a dumbass for not doing that. Persona 4 Golden just blows Persona 3 out of the water. I'm sorry, it does. It's everything that is in Persona 4 Golden is so much smarter, and I could go on for hours about how they managed to tie character development into dungeon crawling game mechanics in a way that I've never seen before, in the notion that every dungeon is themed to the character, which makes it a hell of a lot more interesting than, oh, it's another block in Tartarus with a slightly different soundtrack.
Yeah.
Like, God damn it. It's like, do you want to go to Tartarus this evening? No, because it's boring. But if I don't go to Tartarus this evening, I'm going to fall behind because the game is pretty cruel. And it doesn't allow you to restart on the same floor. You have to basically restart back at your checkpoint, which takes bloody ages. I couldn't be asked. I don't think the character development is good. I like the theme. I like that it's a darker game. And I hope that Persona 5 is a little darker than Persona 4. Because let's be honest, Persona 4 has some dark moments, but it's pretty happy-go-lucky for the most part.
Well, I mean, Teddy existing goes without saying.
Yeah, until, of course, the thing happens with Teddy, and then it's like, oh, shit, stuff just got dark. But, yeah, that game is phenomenal. I actually just finished watching the anime as well, and it was okay. I was all right. Using all the original voice actors was a very smart thing to do. So, I watched that, and there were some pretty cool moments in there, and it was always cool to get to see all of the bosses, and the way that they envisioned them in the anime style is nice. It was a pretty good series. What I might do with Persona 3 actually is just watch the Persona 3 animation, just so I can get the story. Yeah.
Get the story. Oh, yeah. Also listen to the soundtrack.
Yeah. Oh, also the anime has a true ending. I shit you not. They made a true ending for the anime.
They made it.
Yeah.
the 100% ending.
Yeah, they made the 100% ending for the anime, and it's a separate episode that doesn't actually have an episode number on the Blu-ray, and you can watch. It will end, and then suddenly you watch the next one. It's like, hang on a second. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. I was fairly happy about that, and they did the way that they interpreted the bosses and everything was great. So yeah, I was happy with it. It's probably not worth the cost that it costs on Blu-ray because it's absurdly expensive for what you get, especially considering the episodes are about 25 minutes. But it's still good if you've played the game through.
Mm-hmm. I'll check it out after I've already actually played it because I do want to still play Persona 4 Golden. I've watched people play Persona 4 before, like in college and stuff, but I never actually played it myself.
Yeah, Golden's pretty nice. There is also a new bad ending for Golden that no one in their right mind would actually take, but it's worth watching on YouTube just to see how ridiculous it is.
I've heard about that. Yeah, everyone tells me don't even bother.
Well, yeah, why would you? And then, of course, you know what you've got to do to get the true ending in Golden involves a very specific set of circumstances, and then having to do this really weird dungeon involving a new character that is themed in a completely different way to every other dungeon in the game. They essentially handicap you throughout the dungeon with a bunch of crazy stuff. So it's pretty fun.
I played Pokemon Mystery Dungeons, so I know about being handicapped through dungeons.
Oh geez, I didn't even try. I'm not even interested in the regular Pokemon games. You couldn't get me to play a Pokemon roguelike. I'm just no.
Mystery Dungeon's different though, but yeah. What I was saying was that what I was referencing was that there's some dungeons in the first game that are absurdly difficult because they return you to level 1 and your starting moveset, and you also have to go in by yourself with no items and level up as you go along.
Oh, that seems entirely reasonable.
Yeah, there's 4 dungeons like that. I only ever beat one of them.
Yeah.
It's pretty absurd.
Yeah. I'm just checking on the stream to see if we're freezing up. I don't think we are. I think it's just something XSplit's decided to do this week. It's like, hey, there's a new XSplit problem. But no, it seems to just be on my end. It's fine. It's not showing up on the stream, so that's good. Alright, well, what's going on in the show? Well, obviously we're lacking Dodger, so we'll most likely be having
Sorry.
We might have a bit Nintendo going on. We're actually going to go have a look at some of the new Nintendo Direct trailers. Probably Shin Megumi Tensei X Fire Emblem and other crazy stuff like that, which is looking kind of great. Do a little bit of news here and then, and of course host topics, and then wrap the show up. Really that simple. And we'll, of course, start the way that we always start by asking exactly what we've been playing this week. Jesse, you've been rather silent since I believe
I
you
don't know
haven't played
jack
Persona,
about
man.
Persona.
You gotta
Yeah,
play Persona. You have got to play Persona. You would freaking adore that game. There's not even a question about it.
Maybe.
You would.
Maybe.
You would love it.
The show idea sounds simple, but it's always 3 hours.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, we can do all this in 45 minutes, right? No.
Never happens.
No, the first hour will be stuff like that.
Always get sidetracked talking just about random crap about games that has nothing to do with the actual topic.
Jesse is not kanji. No. Anyone that says Jesse is kanji Tatsumi is a liar.
I don't know what any of that means, so it's
No.
okay. Good.
Do I? Oh,
Maybe I'm not.
Jesse's a hybrid of Yosuke and Teddy. That's all I can say.
we're good friends here
Is that
because
a bear? Is Teddy a bear? Can I be a bear?
Actually, yeah.
He claims to be a bear.
Good.
Plot twist, he is mostly a bear.
Just like in real life, so we're good.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know what any of that means, so I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna nod and move on with my life. I don't know anything about Persona at all.
Yeah, you'll have to try it out at some point. It is really, really good. All right, well, let's talk about what we've been playing this week. So, Jesse, we will start with you. What have you been up to? What's been on the docket?
Even maybe minutes before we went on the air, I was playing Devil May Cry, the new one. Oh, I'm sorry, DMC.
Ditto, actually, yeah.
I may have thought that game was going to be horrible, and I hated Dante, and now I'm still playing it and kind of like it. I feel bad. I need to take my medicine.
I don't think you should feel bad, if I'm totally honest.
Well, I feel bad in that I bashed on this game a ton.
Prior to it coming out?
I think everyone did.
Well, how is that your fault? They presented it in a really awful way. Come on.
It's kind of more the marketing team's fault, yeah, not yours.
Yeah.
Well, it's also because they changed everything that people liked about the original. But the way they're handling the new story and the new world is kind of fun. The one problem I have that seems a little silly is Dante is perpetually getting pulled into limbo. Like, he can't walk 5 feet without someone being like,
you're being pulled into limbo
now.
It's like, God damn it, guys.
And then the funny thing is the monster, the monsters keep pulling him into limbo. And she's like, Dante, you're going to go into limbo and all this stuff. And he's like, limbo? What's limbo? Even though he's been there before. Meanwhile, he lives in a place called Limbo City.
Hang on.
Dude.
When did you hear this? Because I've played the first few hours of the game now, and I'm getting ready to do my WTFs, and I've never once heard him say that. When did he say that?
He says he's been to Limbo before. Many times. He's like, at the very beginning, he's like, yeah, I know it's Limbo.
So when does he say what's Limbo?
The girl tries to explain it to him, and he's like, yeah, no. Look, it's like in the very first level, she tries to explain what Limbo is, and Dante's like, so what happens if I shoot you? Like, he's asking her about Jesus Christ.
Oh, no. That's justifiable, though, because it's like he's never met a medium before who can kind of exist in both worlds and shit like that.
No, I understand. And she's telling him about this world around them and stuff, and I get it, but they live in a place called Limbo City. So it's like an unnecessary, like, okay, I get it. You this whole place is Limbo. I understand. Thanks, game.
Yeah, I'm not really worried about spoiling the first 2 minutes of the game, so
the whole thing. The later part of the game is pretty great. Although, for people who are curious what the overall plot is, it's essentially a movie just came out that looked really stupid. It's like, Branded.
Yeah, which was ripped off a movie called They Live.
They Live.
This is what the plot is taken from, basically.
Yeah, basically, the soda is like lobotomy in a can, and the TV makes people stupid and tells them what to think, and so basically, in order to get Mundus, the bad guy, to piss him off, you have to go around and destroy the television network and destroy the soda, for that kind of stuff. It's a fun game, and the backstory is pretty great in this one, and I don't know, I actually like it. Dante's kind of growing on me, and I don't know if that's a good thing or not, because I still like old Dante, but new Dante's kind of good, I guess.
I mean, the problem I've got with new Dante is that he's actually a real character, whereas the old Dante was
silly and over the top. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny how people call the new Dante a teenage power fantasy when that's exactly what the old Dante was, and that's fine. But this is Sorry, Cherry, go ahead.
I was saying you hate him because he's better written.
I hate him because he's written.
Yeah, you hate him because he's written.
They actually have character development in this game, whereas none of the previous DMCs really did, which is okay. I don't mind that either. That's fine too. But I don't mind this. I like the fact that the voice actors are pretty good and the lines aren't disgustingly terrible and things like that. They're not disgusting. Oh, come the fuck on. Like, compared to the rest of the DMC games, the lines are not terrible at all.
Okay.
They really aren't. Like, some of the writing is actually acceptable, whereas in the previous games, they clearly were not.
I thought you were saying that, like, that it was, like, acceptable and everything. I'm like, well, by Devil May Cry standards, it's pretty normal, but I misunderstood what you were saying.
Yeah, I mean, it has. I miss the sort of beginning of the original Devil May Cry where he's just like sitting in his like detective agency place and he's like, "Hey, I'm a freaking badass." The new one, they threw it some bones. I like how, you start the game and you're in a trailer and you are just bare ass naked and you have a pizza for a penis, which is pretty amazing.
That was hilarious.
And I was like, that might have been the moment that I was like, well, I'm sold.
Gets dress balls getting launched through the air.
Yeah,
that's like, okay.
Yeah, and that's DMC in a nutshell, right? That stupid shit is DMC in a nutshell, and there are moments like that. There's not enough of them, I think. But again, this is not Capcom's Devil May Cry. It's Ninja Theory's Devil May Cry, and I think what I'm probably going to end up saying in the video once I get to that point is, look, the game in and of itself is pretty damn great. The presentation is fantastic. I am literally wowed by the level design. The way that they present Limbo is nothing short of phenomenal. It looks great. You can say whatever you want about, oh, well, there's overuse of orange and blue. There's a reason why people use the orange and blue contrast, because it looks awesome and everyone likes it. But the Limbo design is incredibly creative, really, really cool. And you can say what you want about the combat system, but the combat system works fine within the context of the game. Compared to previous Devil May Cries, when people were doing the crazy true skill tournaments and things like that, and they were maintaining triple S rank combos in the most horrendous and crazy circumstances, then yeah, I can see why you would, as a Devil May Cry veteran, not like this game. As someone that played every Devil May Cry game until I hit some stupid puzzle and or platforming section, then quit because it was awful, I am enjoying the new Devil May Cry because it doesn't have any of that.
Have you done any of the oh boy, I'm trying to think of what those are called. They're the ones behind the angel gates, I guess you would call that. The one where you use the angel sight.
Yeah. What the hookshot stuff or
no, like the bonus event.
Oh, the bonus stuff. Yeah, the challenge rooms. Yeah, I haven't run into one of those.
Some of those
yet.
Are exactly what you're talking about.
Oh, really?
Like,
but they're optional, right?
Yeah, they're completely optional.
All right, well that's fine then. I'll just fucking ignore them.
That I'm like, some of them are just kill so many monsters in so many seconds, and some are a race against time where it's you run through, you have to do the hook shot stuff, and some are, it's a puzzle, you have a minute to figure it out, go. And I'm like, no!
Well,
not a minute!
This is smart, though. This is like, oh, they've put it as an optional part of the game, and instead of forcing you to do it. Great! That sounds fantastic. I just won't do it. And I don't mind the hookshot platforming stuff, because it's actually pretty good. It's compared to previous platforming and previous DMC games, which was awful. I mean, it was fighting the camera more so than anything else. That's much, much better.
You know what it reminds me of? I actually was thinking about this, because you're right. It doesn't... The last Dante's Inferno... I may be wrong about this. But
you just said the last Dante's Inferno, by the way.
I know. Well, that's what I was thinking about Dante's Inferno. But
awful game.
I was going to say the last Devil May Cry that I had played was 2. And so I have not played...
Well, 2 is probably the worst one they ever made. So
yeah. And so I was like, I'm done.
2 is bad.
And so when it comes to gameplay mechanics, I'm not sure if they switched it up in the later games, but this game reminds me a little bit more of Dante's Inferno than it does the original Devil May Cry series. Like gameplay-wise. With the switching of the weapons and the hooks and all that stuff. I feel a little bit more of that than I did way back when. Because your guns... Ebony and Ivory, I love you, ladies, but I really do not use them that much in this game.
Yeah.
And I know you're supposed to, but it's unnecessary.
Well, you're not really supposed to, though, because honestly, like, maintaining your combo in this game is far, far easier than any of the previous DMCs. So you don't need to link up with Ebony and Ivory to make that work. You know, I'm getting comments on Twitter from the usual Devil May Cry fanboys, and these are the kind of people that I'm no doubt going to piss off in my videos. Like, I literally do not care about the other DMC games, because every time I played them, I'm like, this has got really good combat, and then I ran into some stupid-ass design decision that made me hate the game. It's like, you are an idiot if you shove shitty platforming and shitty puzzlers into a spectacle fighter. This is the same problem I've got with fucking God of War. Just stop it. Really. If you can't pace your game properly and make it interesting enough where the combat is enough to carry the game, you're doing it wrong. And you need to talk to fucking Platinum about how to do that properly. Because they know exactly what they're doing in that regard.
It's very ironic that you say that, considering Hideki Kamiya was also the director of Devil May Cry 1 and 3.
Yep.
The thing, when it comes to that sort of platforming thing, I think in God of War, in the first one, when you were in Pandora's box, I believe that was when you were on top of the Titan guy. Like, the puzzle there was good because it was your first major puzzle, and it was like everything kept shifting and stuff, and that was cool. But you're right, they took it like overboard in the next few, and it got really annoying. And so
yeah, it was timed and shit like that. Time jumping puzzles in Devil May Cry 4 made me quit that game. It's like, oh, I am really enjoying the combat in this game, and then it's like, oh, let's just shove some platforming. It's like, shut up, stop it. Like, if you don't have enough confidence in your combat engine and your enemy variety and your arena and environment variety, then you are not doing it right. And there are games that have done it right, and pretty much all of them are by Platinum or Clover, right? You got God Hand, you've got Bayonetta, and you've got Vanquish that all did that really right. They felt no fucking need whatsoever for stupid puzzles to pad out the game. And it's actually the only reason, really, why I'm probably going to pick up God of War Ascension, because it's focused on multiplayer and fighting, as it should be, instead of some stupid-ass puzzling crap. And it's actually the same problem I ran into with the Darksiders games, too. It's like, come on, the combat is good enough to carry the game. We don't need this shit. I didn't buy the game for this shit.
Someone in chat actually asked a really good question if I use the keyboard and mouse or the controller. I'm using the controller.
Yeah.
But I kind of feel like I might want to test out the keyboard and mouse to see what that...
It's
there's
good.
Some points...
It's actually good because of the way the weapon system works in DMC. It's got a lot of key modifiers. It's much, much better on keyboard because you have separate keys for everything. Having Q and E as a modifier for essentially switching between the first two weapons that you get, the scythe and the big axe thingy, is way better.
I really can't remember the names. I like how you and I both...
I'm pretty sure one of them's a Cyrus. I think the kind of scythe is a Cyrus. I can't remember what the other one is. But
the other one's like big red axe.
Big axe that I use to smash people with shields. Yeah, I know, pretty much. So I don't actually care about the previous DMCs. You can't make me care about the previous DMCs. If you care about the previous DMCs, I don't care about you caring about the previous DMCs. If you want to be mad about this DMC, fine, because you weren't getting Devil May Cry 5 anyway. It wasn't going to happen. Capcom didn't want to make it. So it's like, all right, who wants to make a DMC game? Fine, we're going to do a reboot. Because Ninja Theory couldn't have made the same game, and even if they tried, they would have just got shit on for it anyway. So they made their own DMC, and some people are going to bitch about it, and there are some parts of it that I don't like, and I'll spend a great deal of time talking about that. But quite frankly, I don't think anyone who is looking at this game from an objective or journalistic point of view should be pandering to the kind of people that scream and cry because something didn't go their way in the series. That said, if you are reasonable about your criticism and say, I don't like this as a DMC game and I have certain expectations because I have played the previous DMC games, then that's when people will take you seriously. This is the whole problem I've got with this entire debate, is that both sides of it are fucking unreasonable. We've got people on the journalism side of things that just flat out shit on everyone that likes the previous games. It says, oh, you don't matter. It's like, yes, they do matter because they just bought the previous 4 games. If you didn't want them to matter, you should have called your game Devil May Cry. Then they wouldn't matter. But then the other side of it is, don't completely destroy the game, even though it's got plenty of good points, just because it's not exactly what you wanted out of the series, the last game of which was like 5 years ago. Can people be rational for once? Can we have a balanced freaking balanced point of view for once. Why can't we have that? Will someone tell me?
Damn.
This is going to be a good podcast, I can tell.
I'm just sick of it.
Square Enix levels of pissed off. I was very impressed with you.
I'm sick of it. I really, really am. I am just disgusted by it. It's getting on my nerves that whenever we try and have a discussion within gaming, we're shouted down by two polar opposite camps that seem to exist for the sole purpose. In gaming?
You mean now in life? That's welcome to America.
Welcome
that's
to extremists.
For a while. Thanks for joining us. Yeah.
Nuance is dead. Man.
It's absolutely ridiculous because gaming is just meant to be something that you just do on your own leisure. It's just like, why are you so opinionated about what I like? It's like I can understand like speaking out against something that like because you personally didn't like it, though, but why not like other people for liking what you don't like?
Yep,
it's mainly what I'm saying.
The one thing that I thought was crazy is Metacritic. When we were talking about Metacritic 2 weeks ago and Devil May Cry, they had the reviews. People were like losing their shit, just like, this game's so dumb. Let me tell you what's going on in this game. It's so stupid. And the exaggeration, because I had yet to play it. I was waiting for PC. The exaggeration on what they described as like, oh, and then this guy does this, and this other guy does this. It's so dumb. The whole game's stupid. Having played it, everything they mentioned as being bad, I really enjoy. I'm like, no, that was actually really cool. What are you talking about? So once again, Metacritic lets me down.
Good job,
Metacritic's
Metacritic's a good idea in theory, though, but it's just like the fact that people can rate something a 0 out of 10 and they do it every time that there's even one thing they don't remotely like.
Well, that's YouTube. YouTube is, I'm going to thumbs you down just because no one else has.
Yeah, recommend. By the way, I've got people bitching about freezing on the stream. Change to 720p, not 720p plus. Apparently, the uncut feed is having some problems. It's probably something to do with the transcoding. So switch over to 720p plus, or 720p instead of 720p plus, and things will probably be fine. If you're watching a lot on YouTube, of course, there's no problem. I hope.
I'm just nodding because I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, it's bullshit technical stuff, but I want people to be reasonable about it. I think that it's okay to dislike the new DMC. It's not okay to slam it as a game because it's actually a pretty good one. And
it's not great, but it's good.
Yeah, and some people compared it to me hating Max Payne 3. It's like, oh, well, you hated Max Payne 3 for the same kind of reason. Like, no, I hated Max Payne 3 because I had 4 hours of unskippable cutscenes in it. And the fact that they had just changed the level design to the point where it was little more than a line. And you can talk about level design in DMC, the other games, versus the new one. And the new one is pretty linear, but it's got a lot of hidden stuff in it, which I very much like. And the way that it's designed is always interesting and entertaining, because you never know what the terrain's going to do. The terrain suddenly shifts around all the time. You see all sorts of crazy stuff. It looks incredible. I'll take that over the goddamn tower in Devil May Cry 3 any day of the week. I mean, the DMC3 tower is like Tartarus and just how dull it was. Like, oh, it's another floor of bullshit. Great. It's not what I like.
Those awful little like jester marionette guys. Screw them. Screw them.
Yeah, they need to die horribly.
Although this time now we have chainsaw guys. Screw them. Screw your chainsaw guys.
I have no
demons.
problem with those at all. I hate
those guys.
I love those guys because I could beat on them for a while and air juggle them for about 2 minutes. I've got to say, like, the air juggling's a little bit too easy. Like, you can quite literally stay in the air forever as long as there's monsters in the air by just sort of
keep
comboing.
latching onto them and just move around.
It's actually stupid. Yeah.
But that's what you're playing. You want to see it's the same kind of silliness that I went into the movie Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters with, that I expected to be nonsense, and I was happy that movie was as silly as it was. So this game's just as good.
Yeah. It's, as I say, it's all right, but it's probably a little bit too easy, certainly on default difficulty, but there is also 7 difficulty levels, so I just wish I hate unlockable difficulty levels, I really do. Can we not just have that from the very start? If someone wants to play Dante Must Die from the start, why the hell do they have to beat the game first? That's stupid. Just give it to everyone from the start and let them play whatever. But I'm probably going to up my difficulty level to Nephilim, actually, instead of Devil Hunter, because Devil Hunter, I haven't died once in 2 hours, and it just seems too simple. I'm getting triple S ranks too easily, so I want to ramp that up a bit.
That my favorite is getting like triple S ×5. It's like, what? I don't even know how I got that. It's just flying around being a dick through the air. It's funny, the bosses, you can get such a high score killing bosses. And I'm like, this doesn't seem right to me. So you're right. The easy modes are super.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that it seems like the way that the combo system works is it's more linked to just pure damage than anything else. So you don't really have too much of a problem ranking up triple S's by just comboing the big axe and shit like that and all the big damage moves, which is not what the original games were done with. Also, I do miss switching styles. Like, that's something that I really would have liked to have seen in this game, and you don't get that. So I'm like, that doesn't seem okay. But it's still a decent game, and there's a lot about it I like, and I could honestly, whether it's a Devil May Cry game or not, it doesn't really matter because it's just one gigantic reboot. So I treat it as the start of a new franchise,
whole new series,
Yeah, because it pretty much is, right? It's essentially the start of a new franchise, so I'm going to judge it on those merits.
There's a reason why they didn't call it 5.
Yeah,
right.
Pretty much. Although,
and I
don't know if I like the trend of rebooting with the same goddamn name, because that's just confusing.
Well,
to anyone who tries to discover the series like 10 years from now, yeah.
Yeah.
But there's Tomb Raider coming out, and there isn't a lot of bitching about that being, like, people aren't like, ugh, I can't believe they're redoing Lara Croft. Like, no one says that, which is strange. But
it's odd because they've kind of done it twice already. I mean, if you look at
I guess you're right. You're right.
It's like Tomb Raider 1 through 5, and then the 3 Tomb Raiders, which was what Underworld, Anniversary, and Legend are kind of like a reboot anyway. And they have some fairly significant mechanical differences. And then there's this one, which is interesting because it seems to be more like a survival game than a platformer. Yeah, and I'm fine with it being more Uncharted because I never liked the Tomb Raider franchise because it was too much goddamn 3D platforming in it, and I absolutely hated it. So
it seems to be a whole thing about necessary 3D platforming in games.
I don't like it. It's something I've never liked. So it kind of makes sense, really. I think that there are probably a lot of people that do like it, but I'm definitely not one of them. And I'm very much a mechanics-focused gamer, and when games have really, really good mechanics, I can look over pretty much everything else. So when I play a game that has amazing combat, and the combat mechanics have got a lot of depth to them, and they're really fluid, and they feel super satisfying, and then I run into, oh, now's time for some platforming, let's see if you can wrestle the camera to make this work, and that suddenly completely ruins the game for me. And there's plenty of games that have done exactly that, which have just annoyed the hell out of me.
As long as the mechanics are good, pretty much everything else can be as terrible as it wants for you.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. That's just how I am. Yeah.
Were you saying that were you saying like that same thing about XCOM, that you really enjoy the mechanics of it though, but it frustrates the hell out of you? So it's kind of like a bit of you enjoy it, but at the same time you're more frustrated than enjoying it.
Well, the problem with that game is that the mechanics are broken in places, and you've got elements that don't make any sense. Like the way that the line of sight works in that game is pretty terrible. You go to a place where clearly you shouldn't be able to be shot by, and then a shot goes through 3 walls and hits you and kills you in one shot, and at which point you're just like, fuck this game. And it's still a buggy game, obviously.
Because I remember you saying that you played it like the most of it. It wasn't like your top 10 games of 2012, just because you spent so much time being frustrated at it because the mechanics were good in theory, but they just didn't work at times.
But they didn't work half the time. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the most frustrating part, because you can see a really great game under there, and then every now and again, dumb stuff happens with line of sight, and the fact that you can't even tell, for the most part, where you are in terms of your line of sight. You're trying to move into a position where you can flank them, and it looks like you should be able to because it's all in 3D, and then it's like, no, the game thinks this guy's still in hard cover, and you can't take that move back. And there's no way the game never tells you, it never indicates properly to you. So it's pretty horrible that way. I have problems with that, certainly. Anyway, yeah, that's DMC, so I'll probably have my full opinion on DMC by the weekend, I would think. And it's going to piss some people off, and I'm beyond giving a shit because it's video games.
That's a good way of putting it.
Pretty much. It's like, you're disappointed by the game you wouldn't have gotten in the first place. All right, whatever.
Pretty much. It's just like they were saying you weren't going to get the new game, and you did, so it's just like, something's better than nothing at the very least.
Well, to some people it's not. No, it really isn't. But
I'm just more of an overly optimistic person, is why I'm saying it.
I'm definitely not that. But I think that the best way to look at it is that this is not Devil May Cry, it's DMC, and DMC is
Holy crap.
it's a reimagining of the same character. What the hell just happened?
Hold on a minute. I can actually hear it. Hold on a minute.
There's a tornado coming.
Yeah, for those who don't know, ChuggaConroy currently has a tornado warning where he's living. So
yeah, I heard like the wind like vibrating my window, and I went to go check what it was.
Yeah, so if he has to go down to the shelter, then we'll just have to carry on the show without him.
That's why everything's so dark in here. I have my lights on, yet it's still this dark.
Yeah. So just something to bear in mind that Conroy may die at some point today. Yeah.
we are taking
Conroy must die mode.
Conroy must die. Yeah, that was. You die in one hit from the tornado, but the tornado takes full damage. So.
Yeah, so you go out like a boss. We'll honor you.
I gotta get my battle axe to fight the tornado with. Because tornado's carrying a shield.
I have also been playing this nonsense game. I don't know if you can see it. It's basically
phone gaming.
Zookeeper Battle. It is a horrible.
Last week.
It is a horrible waste of time. I can't stop playing it. I can't stop. It's basically you have a little character. My guy's name is Stinky Pete. He's a hippo. Hippo's the most dangerous. And you play versus other people, and the way you fight is with Bejeweled, basically. Okay. And you just do the thing, and then you get the defense. Hippos and elephants, I think, are defense, and then all the other animals are offense. And you sort of make a super... You fight, and you have a defense and offensive score, and then the two animals beat the crap out of each other, and then one wins. And
I wonder if there's any game that won't work with a Bejeweled mechanic.
It's so good. The problem is that there's so many levels of like just BS on it. Like, hey, we have 12 contests going right now. You should enter them. Like, no, I will not. So yeah, it's really, really fun. It is, but so time consuming. Time disappears. And when stuff is rendering, that's what I'm playing. I'm like, bloop, 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 bloop. And I'm kind of good at it. So except if you lose a lot of points. But that's it. That's what I've been playing. That and Devil May Cry and I played a game called Legend of Dungeon. That game's fun.
Why have I heard of that? What's it on?
It was on Kickstarter, and it was a Kickstarter that was originally they wanted $5,000 for, and they got $33,000. And it is a husband and wife team called Robot Loves Kitty, and it's basically like cheesy pixels, but 3D style with awesome lighting effects.
Okay.
And it's a roguelike dungeon crawler,
right,
where if you die, the whole thing restarts. If you get stuck, you have to reset. It's kind of like FTL of dungeon crawling. And everything in it is so much fun. And the stuff you can find different hats. Like I found a duck hat. I found a giant hammer, so it's me with a duck hat and a giant hammer. If you go into the bathroom in the bar, you can come out as different characters. So if you go in as a man, you can come out the women's room as a woman character and take over as the woman. There's like different stuff. So if you go in the bathroom, you keep coming out. You can come out as like a white guy, a black guy, like a zombie, like a vampire, like all these different characters. And there's a little tiny dwarf who just drinks, and he walks around the bar, and you can attack him, and he's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And there's wizard, but the game itself has amazing, silly like characters and all stuff. But the coolest thing, I was playing with Josh the other day, and Josh Mattingly, and we found a can of spray paint. We're like, what the hell? Why is there a can of spray paint? You can spray the walls, you can spray each other. We're just goofing around, and it hit us. It's so you can figure out where you've been. So you can tag doors, you can tag walls and make arrows and say like, go this way. So if you enter the dungeon, you'll never get lost again. We're like, that is freaking genius. It's a really amazing game. And so I think it's on Greenlight right now. It was kickstarted. It's on Greenlight, and I think Desura, maybe it might be on there too. I don't know.
Yeah, if it's on Greenlight, chances are it's on Desura. Yeah, I'm gonna check that out because I do remember really what you're talking about now. I don't think I kickstarted this, but it does look great. It's yet another pixel art game, which I'm literally getting sick of, but it seems like in motion it would look a lot better than it does otherwise. So
it's really hard to explain because it looks the images, and I don't know. I'll tell you why I didn't kickstart it because it looked to me like you just said, just pixel game. I was like, all right, whatever. But when you actually play it, it's the 3D mechanics and the lighting mechanics and the way the game works, like the I guess physics is what you would call it, is pretty stellar. And the fact that a husband and wife made this in basically their free time, I was blown away. I was like, whoa, okay, this is great. I can see it if it gets on Steam as being the next Let's Play thing people will do, just because it's so random and so silly and ends up being hilarious. There's this goblin that is this little tiny character sprite that's hilarious looking, and he's like gobble the goblin, and he runs around and tries to attack you. I found like a Lich King, and he summoned like 1 million skeletons. When you hit them, they explode into bones, and the whole room's covered with bones. There's a lot of fun stuff in that game. I expect it to do really well.
I'll check it out. That looks fun. Yeah. Definitely looks fun. All right. Well, Chugga, what have you been playing this week? What's been going on?
Hi, Chugga. How are you?
Yeah, you're still here.
Yeah. Hi, guys. I don't believe we've met.
You're not dead yet. That's a start.
I'm not dead.
He keeps looking over towards the window. I'm like,
yeah, I keep looking towards the window because I keep hearing like the wind like making it shake though. So I'm just like, I kind of want to like open my blinds, but I don't know. Okay, so earlier in the show, I obviously said that I got a Vita. I've been mostly playing. I played a little tiny bit of Gravity Rush. I want to play like more of it. I've been playing.
Right.
I actually played like a lot of Katamari, if you can believe that. That's kind of what I've been playing the most.
Katamari.
I like the mechanics, like how you can like stretch the Katamari out, like you can make yourself taller, you can make yourself wider, stuff like that. Like it adds a lot more to Katamari than I wouldn't. It was odd because a lot of the time I was saying like, how different is really going to be from the other Katamari games though, but that added a lot more to it than I thought it was going to be. And plus on top of that, you can annoy people with the title of Touch My Katamari just so much. Like I know that like touch puns are nothing new because the DS has been around for so long though, but I mean like Sony's just kind of getting onto that though, so we have like this whole new just barrage of just touching puns. So I'm playing that mostly though. Sorry?
I was just say, leave it to Sony to be the ones to make the puns. Nintendo's like, we're classy. We don't do that. Sony's like, touch my Katamari.
even though it's developed by Namco Bandai, still, it's just, we're seeing a lot of games like that on the Vita, though. But the thing is, I wasn't going to say it earlier because I kind of didn't I knew we were going to talk about this eventually. The way that I actually got my Vita was ridiculous. Like I said, I went to Best Buy and got it with some unspent gift cards that I had. But before that, I had found one that was complete on Amazon. It was pre-owned, been opened like once. It was in good condition. It had a 4 gig memory stick that was coming with it, and I got it for $170 from a reseller.
It's all right.
Which is good. Mm-hmm. Great price. $170 with a 4 gig memory stick. Because the Vita doesn't include memory. So I was thinking that'd be really, really good. First time ever in my life, my mail got broken into and it got stolen.
Wow.
Never happened before. I ordered stuff through the mail all the time. Keep in mind that I've ordered monitors, I've ordered like CPUs and stuff like that, and the thing is, they don't, or not CPUs, GPUs, and the thing is, they don't ever put them, like, I've had stuff come where it's like super expensive, and they don't put it in like a brown cardboard box. They just send it like in its original packaging, and like everyone who sees it can tell that it's like, the newest NVIDIA GPU or like this awesome monitor. Heck, I think there was one time I even ordered a TV, and it was in its original packaging, and anyone who ever saw it at the post office could tell, yeah, that's a TV. Never got stolen though, but no, this brown cardboard box with the used Vita in it got stolen. And it's like I get like this box that's broken into, the tape's all torn off, and it's all beat up, and it has like a "We're sorry, your mail was stolen" note like taped on the front.
See, you think that's crazy that you get these big... I do the exact same thing. I get big packages. I send big packages. I send packages filled with stuff that have like, is just the box, right?
Yeah.
One time I send a friend, I got a Diablo 3 book. I read it, send it to a friend. I was like, hey, you want this? He's like, sure. Send it to him. He gets it. The package has been ripped open, resealed, and there's nothing in it. It's just the package.
Wow.
And he's like, is this a joke? And I was like, no, I sent you the book. He's like, dude, someone stole the book. And I was like, who the hell steals the Diablo 3 book? Like, why would you do that? So
they can put it back in there because the special edition things you only use once.
Right? It's like, who is stealing these things?
People
Somewhere there's a mail carrier who is a big nerd who's like, all of it's mine now.
It's exactly the opposite. He was burned by Area 37, and now he's on a mission to purge the world of every Diablo 3 related product.
Makes sense.
Makes sense. That's essentially the plot of Seven Psychopaths, for those who haven't seen it.
People will steal anything. I used to work at a theater, and we used to have like salt shakers get stolen, and like the little like fake plastic potted plants that would go on the tables in the lobby. Those would get stolen. I remember there was actually one time that somebody tore like a cup, like one of those cup holder armrests off one of the chairs and took that. People will steal anything. But yeah, that was how I got the Vita. It got stolen. I'm having to file a claim at the post office, though I ended up just going out and getting one at Best Buy with some gift cards because I was looking forward to getting it that day and I didn't.
I like how you were so determined. You were just like, you know what?
Have you never been in that situation where you're so determined to get something and you literally do something completely unreasonable to make it happen?
No, I have Nintendo of America, Wii U, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna play this game Last Story because everyone says it's amazing, and so I buy Last Story, get it after 2 weeks of waiting because they don't make that anymore apparently. Put it in the thing. I'm ready to go. I'm like, this is gonna be great, and it's like, sorry, you can't use the Wii U controller. You have to have a Wii controller. So I go out to Best Buy, buy a Wii controller, come back, hook that up, and it's like, sorry, you need the Wii Classic controller to hook up to your Wii controller. Go back out to Best Buy, buy a Wii Classic, get it home, and then 2 weeks later, I hear, like, we're now going to make it so Wii controllers now work with the new Wii U controller. And I just wanted to, like, flip a table. I was like, that was, like, $60 just wasted. I hate so much.
Well, the plus side of the Last Story was probably good enough.
It's actually a really great game. I'm about halfway through it. So I can't judge a game until I beat it, but I hear the ending's amazing.
I'm only a couple hours into it, though, but I've enjoyed it. I like how tactical it is and just how much stuff you can do. Like, the fact that you get, like, an overhead view of, like, major battles ahead of time and you get to, like, plan where you're going to, like, put everyone. And, like, the fact that there's vaulting, there's, like, you know, interacting with the walls,
Is this an SRPG or is it in real time?
It's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Like you're moving around in real time and you're vaulting off of stuff and like you're like jumping off of walls and that kind of stuff though. But your attacks kind of go off on a timer, kind of like a turn-based game.
Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's really
a lot of strategy.
It's a lot of strategy,
planning, and it's terrific though. The story, the music, the visually, it's great. It's definitely. I think it's proclaimed to be like the last Wii game. So it's
Pandora's Tower is coming out in like 2 months.
I guess that's right. And Pandora's Tower looks kind of cool too. So I don't know.
I've heard some talk that like Pandora's Tower will like make you hate meat and make you want to be a vegetarian, which is making me wonder if I want to play it.
The fuck?
I know I've heard people like say stuff about like it'll make you not want to eat your meat and stuff like that. I'm just like, what? I don't get it though because Europe's had the game for a while and we don't have it yet.
If I remember correctly about the plot, isn't this the one where your girlfriend slowly turns into a monster?
I don't know actually. I don't know like much about the story though, but I've heard that's like this game will make you want to like stop eating meat. And
Does she turn into a kebab? Is that why?
She turns into prime rib. I don't know.
Someone's asking why is America getting those games so late? Because literally no Americans buy good games on the Wii. That's the main problem.
Yeah, the Wii is undersells constantly.
You can't. I mean, they had to campaign to get Xenoblade even over there because we're like, no, we're not releasing it because we saw what you did with every other good Wii game, as in you just didn't buy them.
Okay, this game, Pandora's Tower, I'm right. This is the one that basically you're trying to save your girlfriend, but at the same time she is progressively becoming more horrific while like tentacles are coming out of her head and stuff like while she's with you, and so it looks like she becomes disgusting, and that might have something to do with it.
To be fair about what you're saying though, I don't understand the last. I think that you're right about that for the last story of Pandora's Tower though, but at the same time, I can understand why they were reluctant to bring Xenoblade out here, and I can't say why because it's a spoiler, but the best way that I can put it is that there is something in the game
Tentacles?
that would there's something. I wish it was that simple.
We'd understand it then. We'd be like, oh, it's the Japanese.
I can understand them being okay with bringing it out in Europe, but not here because, without saying any spoilers, and I would never dare spoil the story, I will just say there is something in the game story that would piss off religious extremists majorly if the game like was super mainstream.
Here's the thing, though. Everyone keeps saying that about the game, but if you look at many Final Fantasy games, a lot of it is like 10, for example, is like religion is a lie is the point of that game. I mean, there's a lot of things that really people just need to get over real quick. It's a story. It's a story.
We had this conversation before, didn't we, about when Apple said that this stuff has no place in games, and we said you're just an idiot.
You're wrong.
Yeah, you're completely wrong. It's good that games are dealing with this. The problem is when they deal with it in a ham-fisted manner, and then it just becomes an embarrassment. It's like, oh, great. Yeah, all of our writers are 13 years old. But, yeah, it's good that that's kind of stuff's happening, especially on the Wii as well, because there were some great games on the Wii, but it was woefully underrepresented in that regard.
Yeah, it's kind of a shame though. Like I got a bunch of like Wii games behind me. Like there were great games on Wii. It's just no one bought them. You're right, especially in America, no one bought them. Yeah,
so people didn't bother. I remember it was a long time ago when the Dead Space Extraction game came out for it, which is like one of the best light gun games I've had the pleasure to play, and it sold 8,000 copies in its opening week. That is really terrible.
Do you have one? Yeah,
I don't have Dead Space Extraction though, but I have a game that did worse. This right here. The Klonoa remake. They were saying that they would remake Klonoa 2 for the Wii if this sold well. You want to take a guess at how well this did in its first week?
1,000 copies.
700 copies.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
I was one of those 700 guys. I did what I could to support it.
Here's the thing: is the other day, myself and Ian Beckman, a really great machine animator, we were at a GameStop, and we were looking at the Wii section, and all the Wii games look like they were made for 5-year-olds. Like, I was like, no wonder no one took the time to buy Wii stuff, because everything here looks like it was made for a child, and no one, even children, don't want to look like they're buying stuff for children. And we were, and it was, I was like, no wonder this didn't sell well. None of the games, the covers, nothing looked like you would want to buy it. I was like, there are no giant-breasted women with guns on any of these covers. I am offended. And so
that's what sells your games.
It does. Let's not pretend at all. Boobs and guns sell games. That's how it works.
That and helicopters.
Helicopters with boobs and guns.
Helicopters with boobs.
With boobs and guns.
My lights just flickered off, so if I go offline, that's why.
Okay.
No, you're fine. You're fine, because that was just a helicopter with boobs and guns flying by to shoot down the tornado.
The amount of awesomeness was so much that it removed the electricity from my house for a split second as it was flying overhead.
The tornado also has boobs, by the way, and guns. Portal guns. It shoots portal guns. We're making the best game ever. It shoots
on top of that, the helicopter with boobs has archers in it. It's got people holding bows in it.
Just Legolas. It has Legolas.
This is a Suda51 game, isn't it?
Yes.
That's about the best I can put it.
Legolas and Gimli are in there, and they're having a contest of who can kill the most tornadoes.
Now, the only thing that we're missing is lightsabers.
They shoot lightsabers.
They shoot the lightsaber. Oh, actually, they throw them like
their
daggers.
Their bows shoot the lightsabers.
Their bows shoot lightsabers. Okay, yeah, I got it.
I think we've created the best game ever made.
Somebody make that a reality. Somebody make a Kickstarter.
Here's the twist, though. There's a whole family of evil tornadoes, but one tornado falls in love with the helicopter because they both make wind, right? And the helicopter and the tornado fall in love. And you, Legolas and Gimli, have to get them to...
It's the ultimate tragedy of helicopter and tornado.
Helicopter, tornado. Tornado chopper.
I'm going to strangle myself with my own headphone cord. Is that all right? I mean, yeah, I think we could arrange that. That sounds like a great idea. So just... God damn it, guys. Shut up!
I'm really excited. No, that's a great idea.
Jesus.
Come on, you can't deny that.
I know you have to overcompensate for Dodger not being here, but really now.
That would outsell Call of Duty, don't lie.
Yeah, that's kind of the plot. Existed. People wondering, what we just described is the plot of Black Ops 2, so yeah. Really.
Black Ops is a love story.
It makes more sense to the plot of Black Ops 2, but that's okay.
Black Ops 2 is a love story tragedy.
Yep, about a helicopter and a tornado. It wasn't meant to be.
Jesus Christ.
Uh-huh.
I don't think you even described a single thing that you've actually played this week.
I mentioned the Vita and the Katamari.
That was it. All right, fine.
So I'd mentioned that. Aside from that, obviously, I've been playing Pokemon Coliseum for YouTube. See what else I've been playing. I'm playing a lot of N64 Mario Party lately for some reason. Just anytime anybody stops by, we always end up playing a board of an N64 Mario Party game.
Mario Party it tears friendships apart.
Mario
Party is bad for friends.
I had a ridiculous game the other day where oh God, I think like the best anyone else was doing was they had 1 star and like 0 coins, whereas I had like 4 stars and over 240 coins.
You're a bad host, is what you are.
I am. I'm a horrible person. Like, it's odd that we keep end up playing Mario Party though, because I always get told by like everybody that I know that they hate playing Mario Party with me because I am the luckiest person they know, and I just win solely off of luck all the time. And it's odd though because like as of late we just end up playing that all the time. So I've been playing like Mario Party 1, 2, and 3 a lot lately. So that's another thing I've been playing this week.
So have you taken the time to play Nintendo Land?
Yes. Yes.
Nintendo Land by itself is kind of boring, but Nintendo Land with people is a lot of fun.
I like the solo attractions fine, and I don't mind. Well, there's one attraction that was like meant for multiple people that I kind of liked. The
Luigi's Mansion one is amazing with other people. That's really fun. Like whoever's the ghost, that's a blast. The one where you chase the toads, chase Mario, that is hilarious.
It's so simple, yet it just works so well. The whole asymmetric multiplayer thing is so cool.
Yeah, it's really funny, and I love it. And I think what makes it even better and what makes the gameplay more exciting is that you can have 4 of for example, the toads chasing Mario. You can have 4 toads on the screen, and Mario's using the handheld, so no one can see where he's going, and he can see pretty much everything. That kind of thing's great. Or the same thing with the ghost, or when you're playing the one where you have to chase. I think you have to chase the people collecting the balls. I can't remember what the hell that one's called.
Sorry?
The trees, the candy from the trees.
Animal Crossing Sweet Day.
Thank you. Yes, Animal Crossing. So
it's
that
candy,
it's
candy, not balls.
They're balls of candy.
Balls that grow on trees.
Balls that.
Oh my God, that's a sequel to the game that we came up with. Balls that grow on trees.
Once the helicopter and the tornado have a child, a tornado chopper, and he harvests balls from trees, and it's like Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
Stop. Just stop.
So we go from an ultimate tragedy with guns and shooting lightsabers to a life simulator.
Yeah, I mean look, we got to make money. We got to hit every single market there is. That's how we roll.
It is.
What have I been playing this week?
Yeah. What have you been playing?
Yeah. What have you been playing this week?
Yeah, let's just get away from this stupid thing before I actually kill myself. And funnily enough, aside from DMC, I haven't really had a huge amount of time to play anything other than Planetside at the Ultimate Empire Showdown, which went pretty well, aside from the 4-second lag that we had for about an hour. That was hilarious. But we actually played, and Jesse can attest to this, we played board games.
Yes, we did.
We did. Real board games, not Mario Party, actual, real, legit board games. And
we played a good one, too.
We did.
Was fun.
Yeah, it goes by the name of Shadows over Camelot, which is something that people that have just played Battlestar Galactica may have heard of because the traitor mechanic from Battlestar Galactica was very much lifted from Days of Wonder's Shadows over Camelot. And the whole point is that Camelot is kind of screwed. And horrible things are happening. You, as one of the Knights of the Round Table, have to attempt to stop that from happening. You are really up against it because you're playing it against the board. It's a cooperative game, and the board is consistently trying to kill you and screw you over. There are many ways to lose. You can lose by having more black swords at the round table than there are white swords, which, is disastrous. If you get 7 or more black swords, it's game over. 12 siege engines being placed outside of Camelot, knocking the walls down, that's game over. All of your knights dying, that's game over. There's a few ways for that to go wrong. And what's made worse is the fact that there is the possibility that one of your knights is a traitor. And the game deals out loyalty cards to you at the start of the game. You look at them face down, and you never show them to anyone. But once you start seeing suspicious activity or people making mistakes, then you get naturally suspicious this guy is actively trying to screw you over because he wins the game by you losing the game. So it gets progressively more ridiculous the further you get on into the game, and we just started openly accusing people of being traitors about halfway through the game. I actively accused the completionist because he made a stupid move that screwed us over.
It was so funny. Poor Gerard. TB's like, yeah, I'm going to go here and do this. And I guess Gerard wasn't paying attention, and immediately he does that, and TB's like, whoa! And everyone was like, yeah. Like, you must be the traitor. TB's like, I accuse you. And he's like, no, I'm on your side. And the next turn, he got killed. It was amazing. I felt so bad for him.
As someone who doesn't tabletop game very much, I'm wondering, how the hell is this a board game?
It's an awesome board game. It's an amazing board game.
It took about an hour to set up.
It sounds like it, yeah.
It's really fun if you know how to play, and it took us about an hour to set up and figure out the rules. But once we had done that, it was real simple and real easy and really fun. And of course, everyone has their own night, and everyone's doing their thing. Husky, meanwhile, what a traitorous bastard. He played the game straight.
Played us.
He played the game straight, and he was doing things, and he was moving around the board trying to help people with quests, but it didn't hit us till the very end. He wasn't actually doing anything. He just kept moving around and was like, here, take some cards and do this. But really, he was just setting us up for failure. And from moment one, I was like, Husky's going to be the traitor. I know it. And I just didn't have the balls to call him out because he was doing so good. And I was like, well, I'm not the traitor. And Ro, if she was the traitor, she'd be like, immediately. So I was like, okay.
Ro's poker face is pretty much
horrible.
Transparent. Yeah, especially she'd had one glass of wine by that point, and as you know, she's about 2 foot tall, which means that she's very easily intoxicated. But the problem is, if you call someone out as a traitor and they're not a traitor, it hampers you pretty badly. There's a mechanic that stops you from randomly accusing everybody. So it's risky.
If you're wrong, you get heavily penalized.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do. And so I was mad because I wanted to call someone out as the traitor, because once the traitor mechanic comes into play, they, rather than like leaving the game, they now actively work against you rather than like passively doing it.
Yeah, they move off the board and essentially have the ability to do a bunch of other stuff.
And meanwhile, while all this is going on, you have quests like to fight the Black Knight or to stop the Picts, and I think the Nords. I'm not sure who's coming to you.
Yeah,
Saxons.
And
then you have
gather
the
relics,
and
stuff like the Holy Grail and things like that.
And so we early on got Excalibur, and we were so thrilled about that. But it turns out once you get an item, you flip that little side quest tray thing over, and it's like, by the way, anytime you pull an Excalibur card now, you get penalized for it. Add more crap tables. Like,
oh god,
what?
That boned us hard. Yeah, going for Excalibur first was actually the worst possible thing we could have done, because that's a relic that you should maybe get further on in the game. We should have gone straight for... There's 3 relics in the game. There's the Holy Grail, there's Excalibur, and there's Lancelot's armor. Lancelot's armor is actually amazing because it allows you to... the player that has it is able to draw 2 cards from the bad deck and pick the one that he wants. So that's amazing for avoiding really bad stuff happening. And
the problem is once you get that, though, then you flip that over, and now there's a dragon in play.
Yeah, but that's actually not that bad. The dragon's actually one of the least terrible things to be on the table, as it turns out.
Meanwhile, the Holy Grail, we screwed ourselves over.
Oh, God.
We were not doing well. So it was basically at some point we reached like the point of no return, and then Husky was just letting us suffer.
Yeah,
like,
and then Husky finished
us
at
any
off,
point.
Yeah.
You guys are blowing my mind here. I mean, this is a board game. When I think board games, I think roll 2 die, don't pass go, don't collect $200.
That board game's a shit board game.
It is.
Yeah, this game's really intense.
Well, I play like Settlers of Catan. I play like games like that though. Like I do play those though, but it's just like this is like
good.
Beyond anything I've ever heard. Yeah, Catan is good. This is like way beyond even that.
Yeah, there's a whole world of really great board games, and a lot of them, I mean, a lot of dice rolling is generally bad in a board game because obviously it's very, very random. There is some dice rolling in this game, but you can essentially override it, and it's a risk-reward system because you put some cards down with numbers on them, and then you roll against those cards, so you're the one who made the choice to take a risk. So that's a little bit better there.
There's also like poker in it too.
Yeah,
where you have to have certain combinations
Yeah, combinations of numbers. Yeah, because not having all the high numbers is actually not that good. You need a combo of different numbers and things like that. And there's a card-based system in it. The board is trying to actively kill you, right? And the longer the game goes on, the more likely that is to happen. So every time any player takes a turn, the first thing they have to do is pick one of 3 bad things to happen, which is draw a card from the black deck, which is always bad. Put a siege engine outside of Camelot, which is bad because 12 of those kills you and ends the game, or lose a life point. So you're essentially managing your resources, which are rapidly dwindling, and also taking risks. Like, do I want to draw a black card now? Do I want to take a hit instead of drawing a black card? Because if I draw a black card now, this may cause one of these quests to fail, which means everything goes horribly wrong. It's pretty crazy. It's a great game. It's a lot of fun. And there is actually an expansion out for it, I discovered, so I might look into grabbing that, and we might play that again. Next time in LA, though, we're going to do Battlestar, because I think Battlestar is a better game. And it's, as a result, fantastic fun.
Anytime you can betray people openly in a board game is fun.
Yeah.
Unless it's Husky, in which case, screw him. Screw him.
Yeah, there's someone mentioned the Merlin's Company expansion. Yeah, that adds a second traitor card. There can be 2 traitors, just to really screw you over.
Terrific.
Yeah, it's kind of brutal.
I take it you can't play this game with just 2 people.
No, it's
no. Well, I mean, you could. I guess there's a possibility you could.
Yeah, you could play it just as a co-op game.
Might not be a traitor. Yeah.
You just wouldn't put a traitor card in the deck if you had 2 people, but. Games like that are always better with more people. Always.
That's always like my issue with board games. Though, is like all the really good board games, you need more than 2 people to play them, and I can never get more than 2 people together.
Yeah.
So. It's pretty much the problem with a lot of people in chat are saying like that sounds awesome. It's like, but I know.
But I need friends.
But I need like 16 and a half people to play this game.
You kind of do. You kind of need a giant party of people, at least 7.
Well, what, for Shadows? No, you need 4. Like 4 is a good number. We had 5, and that was a good number too.
I think more is better in this case. It would be more fun to have all 7 people there, I think.
Yeah, it probably would be. But yeah, because you're guaranteeing a trader there essentially and things like that. But
and there's so many people you can't tell, and people have to make bad choices. So
yeah, it's good. It's a really, really good game. I definitely recommend it. But I think Battlestar is probably a better one, and it's definitely worth playing Battlestar Galactica. And yeah, I played another board game, but we're just I don't want to ramble on for hours and hours about board games. Board games are cool, but the biggest problem, of course, is getting the people together to play them. In where I live right now, I can't really do that. I play board games when I come to LA, and I can play them with you guys, right? So, or when I go to Texas, I play with Angry Joe. But yeah, that's always going to be the biggest problem. There's actually a game on iOS that interests me greatly for this kind of gameplay, and it's called Space Team. And it is a free game, which is pretty awesome. It's legitimately free as well. There's no bullshit. And the whole point is you can only play it with 2 to 4 people on Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. So it's got compatibility between like the iPod, the iPhone, and the iPad. So as long as you've got those devices, you're cool. And essentially, you have to stop your ship from exploding in real time. And you have to do it by... It randomizes different control panels with a bunch of different techno-babble and shit. And you've got to like shout at the other guys to stop bad things from happening to your spaceship all in real time.
And like you'll fail it a lot though, and the game just keeps restarting. I think didn't you do a video on this? Because I think I saw
Space Team? No.
No,
you're thinking of FTL.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's not. No, Space Team is. It looks really fun, and I want to try it out quite soon because it literally is a case of you have to shout at the other guy. It's like reconfigure the FS modulator to do this, blah blah blah. It's like just one giant frantic Star Trek emergency, that sounds amazing. And it randomizes the different control panels and different stupid devices every time.
It's like everything is called like the Crob through Nassiter and like the Mega Transmogrifier and stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, I'm looking at it right now. It says like on one of the screens, it's like set shift sanitizer to 1, and then if you look down the thing, there's like the synth cage and the flushy bypass and the shift sanitizer, and then there's the lustrous prism neck, like all these different things. And,
it's progressively more ridiculous technobabble. Yeah, and
later on, they don't even have names. It's just images. So while you're talking to people, it has to be like set the foot
Cricket
in water
bat.
to 1. Yeah, like the cricket bat is the one they have. Yeah.
Yeah, and as I say, they randomize the little control panels on the screen, and you're doing all of that to try and escape this giant supernova, which is trying to kill you, and deal with all sorts of other hazards and things. It is just, it's really cool because it's a game that demands social interaction. Yeah, you have to play with other people, but you all get your own screen to do that. So that seems fantastic. It seems really fun.
That sounds amazing.
It does.
It really does. Yeah. So I I thought I saw you made a video on that, but I was wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did see your video on
event.
I did see your video on Monopoly, slightly on subject with the board games. That was funny.
Monopoly is a genuinely terrible game. It's just.
I totally agree with everything you said in that video too. Like, it's one of those games where it's like it feels like there's so much strategy to it. Like when you first get into it, but then
none of it.
the more you play it, the more you realize there's no strategy.
Bollocks. Yeah, it's absolute bollocks. Well, yeah, it's too much dice rolling, and it's that kind of stuff in the board gaming community, as it were, is called Ameritrash. Because a lot of American games involve a lot of dice rolling unnecessarily, and it's the random factor of it takes away from the skill factor. And a lot of the best stuff that's considered the best board games of all time are generally games that don't have a random element to them, or the random element is managed in such a way that you take unnecessary risks and you get punished for it. Whereas there aren't really all that many risks you can take in Monopoly. Now it's, I'm risking rolling doubles. Wait, I have no control of this.
Pretty much.
Yeah, so
all it is.
Card-based games and stuff that is very much not dice-based in any real sense of the word is always the best in that regard. And my favorite games have limited dice rolling in them, but not enough to override the strategic element. Yeah, so there's a little bit of luck involved, but it's mostly strategy.
Well, if stuff like Monopoly's Ameritrash, then what's Eurotrash?
Euro games, as they're called. Euro board games are the best board games. Like the games like Agricola, for instance, are considered to be some of the best board games ever made. Agricola is about farming. It is a game about fucking farming, and it is considered to be one of the best games ever made.
I know that Catan is German, which we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, it's the guy who made... I don't know who made Agricola, actually. It's UA Rosenberg. I'm not sure who he is. Or
we're back
he's German. He's German. There we go. Yeah.
You got it talking about on iPad games, then we suddenly got back on board games again.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, I mean, there's several good board game conversions for iPad actually, and it's well worth trying them out.
I've heard like Ascension. Well, Ascension's not technically a board game; it's a card game,
but it's great. It's a really good deck builder.
Like I heard that is an iPad app that's supposedly like really, really good.
And
it moves so much faster than the physical version of it.
It's fantastic. Yeah. There's also a version of the Penny Arcade, the card game, which is it's actually quite similar to Ascension. It's another deck builder. It's even done. The app's done by the same company, Playdeck, who do really well at that kind of stuff. And that's all right. I don't think it's as good as Ascension, but it's pretty cool. And there's versions of Small World. There's versions of Ticket to Ride, which is considered to be really, really good.
So we're combining our subjects of board games and iPad apps and all that stuff, and we're like doing a thing.
You guys got me down a rabbit hole here. I'm sitting here staring at like the reviews for this game. I'm trying to figure out.
Well, now it's your turn to not talk. TB had a turn at it. I had a turn at it. Now you have a turn at it.
Which rabbit hole are you looking at? What, are you looking at the reviews of Agricola or?
No. So I was going down. No, the iOS games. So I ended up looking at the one we were just talking about, and then I ended up at one called Knights of Pen and Paper. And then
Knights of Pen and Paper is actually really fun. That's not a board game at all, but it's still a lot of fun.
Right.
The whole point of Knights of
Lich Defense, which is an entirely different thing. So now I'm just like, I'm in a rabbit hole. I can't get out now. You got me looking at iPhone games.
Yeah, I was actually playing a lot of... I did actually play a bit more Knights of Pen and Paper this week. Knights of Pen and Paper is an RPG in the kind of classic style, but it breaks the fourth wall all the time, and you actually have your guys playing the actual pen and paper on the screen, wearing costumes, and you can also buy stuff in real life that affects the actual game. And the dungeon master's narrating everything for you, and there's a lot of parody in it. There's a lot of fourth wall break. It's pretty fun.
Awesome.
It's definitely worth trying out. It might be time for a break, I think. When we come back, we're going to be looking at some of the news this week. And we'll see if there's anything interesting. There's actually been quite a lot of stuff going on this week, so we shouldn't have too many problems. You're currently watching the Game Station podcast, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back after this break. Don't go anywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Game Station podcast. Chugga, you seem rather concerned. What's happening?
I'm trying to rush and do my annotations for today's video, so I'm not having to do it while we're actually talking about meaningful crap.
Well,
I thought you were staring out the window. It's like, oh, there was a tornado coming directly at me.
No, I'm trying desperately to get my annotations done. I need 3 more. Come on.
You really need to just hire someone to do this stuff. Seriously, it's much easier.
Yeah, Chugga. Just hire people.
But you get more views than me anyway. You can totally pull this off.
It's my annotations, though. They have to feel like they're mine. Otherwise, I'll know those boxes weren't drawn by me. It's an artist thing. I must draw my own annotations.
Man's got a point.
I don't care about those things at all. I just get a Romanian to do it for me.
Oh, God. Okay. 2 more. All right,
Really? Is this what we've come to?
Yes, we've come to doing annotations in the podcast. Anyway, go ahead and just... what are we going to be talking about now? We doing trailers?
No, we're going to do news, and then we're
What
going
are
to
we
do trailers.
doing now?
What's happening? Whatever.
Yeah, that sounds great. I'm
Wonderful.
just gonna be over here being internet famous. Thanks, Chugga.
Indeed.
Ugh.
Meh.
I still have 1 more to do, but oh well, we'll continue.
Yeah.
That was Otto. It was just like...
You heard the man.
We'll do some news. There's actually a lot of news coming this week. I'm looking through the list of like, none of the stuff that I just got sent was all that interesting, but
Yeah.
there were some other things. Unfortunately, a lot of really bad news across the board. More frickin' studios shutting down. The guys Junction Point, unfortunately. The guys behind Epic Mickey have shut down.
Oh, God, it sucks.
Which...
Here's the thing, though. That does suck, but was anyone really that into Epic Mickey 2?
Epic Mickey 2 was not that great, though,
No.
but Epic Mickey 1 showed definite potential.
But then they went with Epic Mickey 2, so the potential was squandered, is what I'm trying to say.
Well,
Yeah.
it's just like, ironically, I've heard that, believe it or not, I've heard that the Wii version of Epic Mickey 2 is actually not bad. It's all the other versions that are terrible.
Are you talking about the Wii U version or just the Wii?
No, not Wii U version. Wii
I was going to say
version.
the Wii U version is awful. It has
Yeah.
really bad frame rate problems and all
I've
sorts of bullshit.
I've heard Wii U version is awful, PS3 version is awful, 360 version is slightly less awful, and the Wii version I've heard is better than any of them, which is very ironic because you wouldn't expect it to be that way at all.
Yeah. Apparently, the one for the DS, which I think is like Power of Illusion, which ended up just being like a version of Castle of Illusion, was actually fantastic.
Yeah, I've heard the 3DS one is fantastic. The only problem is that it's short.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's very ironic though, but yeah, the 3DS one was like by far the best one. From like out of the 2 that we got recently, I should say. The first one is still king.
So I actually have a very nice piece which I think Chugga can actually talk about because we were speaking about this before the show. I'm just throwing it in the Skype chat for you guys. Now, PC Gamer does this whole face-off thing every now and again, where they try and have 2 sides of an argument. Usually, it's okay. Some of it's kind of a bit contrived, because it's obvious the guy doesn't really believe what he's saying. He's just being asked to be a devil's advocate. It's like, oh, God, is it my turn this week? Well, this one really takes the cake in that regard. And they actually literally forced their executive editor. I have to assume there's no way he actually believes any of this, because you don't get to be an executive editor while also being this much of an idiot. And this is on the subject of should...
Look at him, though!
His face! It's just like...
It's just like,
okay.
There's a bit of a 1,000-yard stare going on right there. It's like, I'm so sorry, guys. I was forced to be the devil's advocate on this one.
Even he in his no picture's like, no?
Yeah.
He's just like, I guess.
Yeah, so the article in question, for those of you who don't know, you should be very easily able to find it. It's on PC Gamer, and it's Face-Off. Should single-player games always be playable offline? Yes, says Logan Decker, editor-in-chief and otherwise sensible human being. No, says Evan Larty, alien from outer space and paid employee of EA. But no, actually, executive editor. But I have to say, there's no way he's this dumb. I know a lot of people are reacting really badly to this, but... It's a discussion that I definitely want to do because it lets us go down point by point and essentially demolish it. But there is literally no way this man believes this. It's not possible.
I don't think any gamer actually is.
I'm sorry, I just started reading it, and I am convinced because even he says at the beginning, like, you win, just kidding.
He says you win, just
But
as Satan's advocate in the matter.
Yeah, if you scroll down and actually start reading what he's saying, all of his counterpoints are the stupidest things in the world. I guess he's just trying his hardest because I don't think even he believes it. He can't.
Well, of course, there's no defense for this bullshit. That's the thing.
No.
From the look of it, he's just saying DRM over and over again. It's all about DRM. It has nothing to do with anything else.
Yeah, he's like compared to other DRM, it strikes a compromise between developers' interest and the near.
Yeah, serial killing's much better than the Holocaust, right? Relatively speaking. But
look, we take what we can take.
It's absolutely ridiculous. And the thing is, the reason why I kind of have a lot to say about this thing is I'm not much of a PC gamer. I do play games on PC, just not all that much. Like I'm more of a console person, and I'm really looking forward to SimCity. I played the demo of it and all that.
Yeah,
I'm looking really forward to it. It looks awesome. SimCity was one of few PC series that I was really into, and I was really sad that it had been kind of dead for the past decade because they kept trying to do new things with the franchise, but it just kept not working. And I was like, after how many years it's been since Societies came out, I'm like, oh, it's probably dead. They're probably never going to do anything with it ever again.
They did a wonderful job of taking the concept of SimCity and make it not be about building cities. And it's funny how it suddenly went wrong at that point. Never saw that one coming.
Yeah, Societies was
Dreadful.
basically, let's remove all strategy from this game whatsoever and just give you your tools from the beginning. It was basically just SimCity without strategy or without any kind of sense of anything really, any depth is what I'm trying to say. And I was thinking that because Societies did badly, the series was just dead because they didn't do anything for so many years with the series. And I was just like, well, that sucks because that spin-off game did badly. They're probably just thinking SimCity is dead. And then they surprised me with this one. And I was really excited for it, though, because I haven't played a lot of PC games the past few years.
It's a reboot. Guess what it's called? SimCity.
Just like Devil May Cry.
Yeah. But only this time it's actually made by the same people. So rebooting the franchise that they themselves made with the same team is incredibly dumb. But hey.
I don't know if Will Wright's actually involved, though.
I know it's Maxis that's doing it.
Maxis is doing it. I just don't know if Will Wright's
After
involved
the
yet.
abomination that was Spore, I'm almost hoping that Will Wright isn't involved.
Yeah. Will Wright has said some really strange stuff, in the past several years.
Forever.
Yeah. Okay, I'll give you that one.
He's very much getting to the point where he's Peter Molyneux.
Yeah, I remember that he was interviewed about the SimCity series shortly after Societies came out. I remember that he was saying that out of the original 4 SimCities, he liked each progressive sequel less, saying that it was
because they were better.
He was saying because it was overcomplicating it, and the first game was the best out of the original 4.
No, it was actually terrible. If you play that game right now, it is awful.
Yeah, it is. It is so it's one of those sequels where for the time it might have been fine though, but after you've played any sequel, you never go back to that overhead view and just having not having a cursor or anything.
Not having anything. That's a big problem. There's barely any buildings. You don't get to do anything fun in that game. It was great for the time, but there's no way that 2000 is not a better game than that. And there's no way that 4000 wasn't a better game than that.
Yeah, it's just and he was saying that he liked each progressive SimCity sequel less and less. And then I remember him saying that Societies was the best one because it was back to basics. And I'm like, no, that was never SimCity. It was something along those lines. I remember reading that interview and just being like, what? But yeah. Anyway, so on the subject of the DRM, I should say this.
Yeah.
I've been out of PC gaming for a while, and I was really excited to get back into it. And I played the demo, and then when I found out that there's no local saving, you have to be connected to the internet to be able to access your saves as a form of DRM. I was just kind of as my first real big experience with that with a game that I've really, really legitimately cared about playing a lot. So it kind of, on one hand, I'm kind of blindsided though, because a lot of the games that do this weren't really games that I paid much attention to, at least not games that I was gonna play a ton. But on the other hand, even though I felt kind of blindsided by the whole thing, I was kind of this totally is something EA would do, and it's totally something I hear about EA doing in the news all the time, so I really shouldn't be surprised.
Well, funny thing is, it's not really EA that does it a lot. It was Ubisoft. They were the guys that were very much legendary for it with their always-on DRM systems that affected a lot of games, including Settlers 7, Assassin's Creed 2, Anno 2070 had it for a while, which was really bad. Thankfully, it doesn't have it anymore. But I mean, let's work down these points point by point and actually say why this is the attempted justifications that are given by people that are just completely, out of whack. I mean, it starts with Logan essentially saying single.player. It's like, well, that's enough. I mean, that's what we really
that
need.
is an argument. We could end the argument right there, and it would be perfectly fine.
All right, so let's start with Evans, right? So he already said something like, "God, please don't kill me because I am Satan's advocate on this." I get that people are philosophically uncomfortable with the idea of having to rely on some distant verification system in order to access what's on their hard drive. All right, we're not philosophically uncomfortable with it. We just know that it doesn't work most of the time.
We just want to freaking play the stuff that's installed on our computer.
Yeah, the launch of Assassin's Creed, the launch of Diablo 3, all of these things prove beyond the shadow of a doubt that it's not about philosophy, it's about the time that doesn't fucking work. And, in concept, I guess you could say it's like calling Ford before you start your car, but in practical, actual terms, the outcry against this as an issue is totally disproportionate to the modest inconvenience it occasionally poses. Error 37 was not a modest inconvenience. Yeah, let's just throw that idea out the window right now. Have you really been wrong by this form of DRM? Yes, consistently. I would actually ask the question, is there anyone that hasn't at some point been fucked by this DRM? I bet there probably isn't. Anyone?
Yeah, I can't even say that I haven't. Even with me not being a huge PC gamer, I still experience it. I mean, there's a couple Xbox 360 games that I've played where they're flat out unplayable because the verification service has gone offline since the game was released. So even though I have a physical copy, I can no longer play it, even though it's a physical copy.
Yeah.
Because they took the verification. Even though my 360 can be connected to the internet, doesn't matter. They took the verification service online. So after a few years of the game being out, boom, can't play it anymore.
Yep. So, yeah, I mean, we can throw that out the window right now. I mean, the initial argument that, people aren't really affected by this anyway, and it's just completely overblown is bullshit, and probably everyone who is listening to this that has ever bought a game with that in it has been affected by it at some point.
Yeah.
And whether or not it's the majority of the time is irrelevant, because you know what never fucks me over like that? A game which doesn't have that feature in it.
It's one of those cases where DRM hurts the honest consumer more than it hurts pirates.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just that, and there is the argument that I understand that they do want to have copy protection. I'm not saying you can't have copy protection. I'm saying that going about it in ways like this, where you have to go through verification every time you turn the game on, it's one of those things where pirates kind of find a way, and it hurts the honest consumer way more than it hurts them.
Yeah,
and it's unfortunate that we get screwed over, but I understand why they want copy protection. I just don't think this is the way to do it.
Yeah, and we'll get onto that in a second because that's going to be one of the next points that's actually made. Yeah. So Logan counters this by saying, yes, actually, there's plenty of time. I've been unable to launch the game on a plane because the Wi-Fi wasn't working, and that's a good example. And a lot of flights in the US now do have Wi-Fi, and I do use it. And you
have to pay for it.
Yeah, of course you have to pay for it. Why would they give you that for free? But it's all right. So it's it goes on, and Logan says, I'm okay with developers discouraging piracy, but locking me out of my single player game because the dog chewed on the router cable.
This is the single best response I ever. This guy's response.
Oh, you want to read it then? Go on. Read Evan's response to this.
Go on.
If you have a router or connectivity issue, you fix it. Wouldn't you want to do that anyway? And if you're okay with DRM, wouldn't the alternative to online connection checking be horrific junk like SecureROM, which has a brilliant history of locking users out of games like Fallout 3 because they dared, italics, dared to have something like disk burning software installed?
I'm pretty sure SecureROM. When did SecureROM do this? Because that is actually something that Starforce did. Never mind. That was 5 years ago. What he's basing this on information like articles in 2008 about all sorts of horrible things that ended up happening with SecureROM. It's like, yeah, you're right, but this is a false dichotomy. Yeah, this is. For an editor-in-chief, his debating skills are surprisingly bad because he's already broken out a false dichotomy within the first two paragraphs.
I think you're right in that he doesn't believe any of this.
But it doesn't matter if he doesn't believe any of it. He sucks at arguing his point.
Well, at the same time, though,
there's no good point here.
That's what I'm saying is, like, of course he sucks at of course he sucks at backing up his point though, because how are you going to back up this point? Even the best editor in the world would not be able to back this up.
Well, it is. Well, I think you need to ask any lawyer that about how they would do it. But this is a false dichotomy because, quite frankly, there are other DRM methods that are not either of those things which are better. Steamworks DRM is something that most people don't have a problem with. It's fairly transparent. There are also a number of other DRM methods that are fairly transparent. Initial online activation is something that the vast majority of people don't really mind. I don't mind that. That's okay. It's if I know that I'm going to have to go on a trip or whatever and I'm going to need to activate my game, I activate it before I leave, and it works fine. But there's a difference between activating it once online and having to be consistently online to actually make the game work. Let's see what he goes on. We should be amenable to the idea that asking players to be online while playing might be the least obtrusive solution in some scenarios. No, it isn't, because there's a bunch of other less obtrusive solutions that already exist and have for the last 10 years. Compared to other DRM, he says, it strikes a compromise between developers' interests, the near ubiquity of the internet, and protecting the integrity of features like auction houses or a global commodity exchange. We don't fucking want those things. The auction house was bad. The auction house was used as an excuse to ram in always-on DRM and a way of making additional money out of players. This was a bad feature. I don't know of anyone that likes the auction house in Diablo 3. I've never found a person that said this is a great idea.
It's shoehorning in non-single player stuff into a single player experience for the sake of having this.
Yeah, it's like, oh, thanks, great, so I have the benefit of being able to pay real money for drops and also completely eliminating any need whatsoever to have the excitement of getting new drops in game because there's 25,000 copies of the item on the auction house for about 3 gold that could have just bought anyway. Not only that, of course, it was like, hey, would you like to buy something for real money here? Like, no, that sounds terrible. And then, of course, added onto all of that, I get lag in a single player game because this thing exists.
Yeah.
How is this a less obtrusive solution? It is a directly obtrusive solution. It gets in the way.
It's less obtrusive in one way and more obtrusive in 10 other ways for every way that it's not. Is basically what it is.
Yeah. It's, once again, false dichotomy. Let's not pretend that there are not better forms of DRM out there. And if you want to use DRM, fine, use DRM, but there are other versions of it. No DRM stops piracy. This is a fact. This online-only thing isn't going to either. I'm pretty sure that he actually gets onto this later on.
The only thing that would stop piracy is if gaming went entirely cloud computing and the game was never on anybody's drive.
Which even then they'd probably figure out a way of doing it. And if gaming went entirely cloud computing, then you get the problems of what OnLive is. That's OnLive. That's terrible.
It would have its own problems as well. So it's like that's the only way you're going to stop piracy is if everything was entirely cloud based, which I
hate the notion of it. I might add, it's probably where we're going, sadly, but I hate the idea. Because that eliminates modding, it eliminates customization and tweaking. It, of course, once again, relies on the internet connection and someone's hardware that is out of reach of you working. It's like, oh, sorry, our servers are down today. You can't play all your games. That's awful.
Or rather can't play any of them if it's a cloud-based service that all your games are within. So it's just flat out, you aren't playing any games today.
Yeah, not to mention, it goes even further than the whole you don't own your video games kind of argument. All the way to you definitely don't because it's not even on your goddamn computer. You can't do anything with it. All right, so this goes on, and Logan's like, "Oh yeah, I see what you mean about the Secure ROM boogeyman." Yeah, so Secure ROM was not a great system. It's actually not bad now. There are way worse. Tegas is a worse system. Star Force is a worse system. It goes on about, I'm not sure the access to stable internet connection is ubiquitous as you might think. What about rural communities, laptop gamers in a park? Soldiers abroad. That's the biggest thing. You want to soldiers abroad. They love to play frickin' video games. If you're deployed abroad, which a lot of frickin' people are, then yeah, you don't have reliable regular internet access. So you get fucked on all manner of different things. And compromise on DRM is necessary. So I actually don't think that it is. I really don't, because there's no proof that this stuff works. So, quite frankly, why should we have to compromise on that? There are already services like GOG that are willing to say no DRM. We don't think that this is helpful to anybody.
Services that say no DRM is an attractive feature to a lot of gamers that are honest consumers.
Yeah.
It flat out is, though, because it hurts the honest consumer a lot more than it hurts pirates. So a lot of honest consumers like no DRM as a flaunted feature of a service. Like I've noticed a lot of people like GOG for what you just said.
Yeah. Okay, so Evan's next point, he goes, what precedent, I always get this wrong, what precedent, yeah, it was Lincoln, what precedent is there for people losing access to single-player games because a verification server was shut off? Well, this hasn't happened yet because this has only come in the last couple of years, but it will, because eventually what's going to happen is the SimCity servers will be shut down, yeah? And one of two things is going to happen. Either at that point, they will unlock the game, assuming that that's even possible. If they connect too much into the actual servers themselves, that won't be possible. Or they'll just shut it down like EA has done for all sorts of other games, and you won't be able to play it anymore.
And this is EA we're talking about here.
Exactly. It's like you might say, well, what precedent is there for single-player game? I can tell you a precedent for multiplayer games. Loads of them. A whole bunch of them. And pretty much any MMO that's ever shut down. It's the same principle.
Like I said, I own games like for even consoles, not even PC consoles, where the verification server has been shut down, and this is within the same console generation. It does happen, and this would they would flat out make the game unplayable ever again unless they did something with it, like unlocking it, which is unlikely because, like I said, I've seen games countless times have that happen.
Yeah, it goes on. It goes on. This notion that gamers have a fundamental right to play every non-multiplayer game in all corners of the earth at all moments is unrealistic. Why?
What?
It never used to be.
Yeah.
5 years ago it fucking wasn't.
Whatever happened to plopping the cartridge into my Game Boy and playing it?
No. Chugga, your expectation that you can play Super Mario Land 3 anywhere in the world on your Game Boy is unrealistic. That's an unreasonable thing to do. It's not that we have 35 years of fucking precedent saying that it was realistic.
Unrealistic to be able to play any single-player experience anywhere in the world.
What? It's unrealistic to be able to play single-player games without an internet connection. Said nobody ever.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's complete bullshit. That's a terrible argument. You don't get to talk about precedent and then ignore 35 years of it in the next sentence. It's just no. It goes on like, it brings up the entitlement argument, which I absolutely hate, because that's a horrible fallacy. Paying doesn't entitle us to everything we want. Take the most egregious recent example of online DRM, Diablo 3. PC gamers lambasted its launch issues, but it was the fastest selling PC game ever. That is fucking meaningless. I lambast Justin Bieber, but he sells a lot of copies.
Yeah, while you guys were talking, I was researching that specific point.
Mm-hmm.
He is absolutely right. It sold the most in a day. It sold a ton last year. But with that said, the average play time of someone playing Diablo 3 is less than 5 hours. The real money auction house and the auction house sales have declined by 75% since the initial launch. So no one's even using that service. And basically, people bought it immediately because the name. And a lot of people bought it. And a lot of people bought it because they had the WoW little like special deal and it came for free.
Yeah.
And other than that, there's very little word of mouth on the game. People might have bought it because they want to see the story or whatever, but most people who played the game, it might have sold 10 million or whatever, but if you ask every one of those 10 million people if they enjoyed the game, I guarantee you 9 out of 10 would say no.
Yeah, it's one of those cases where people just bought it because of brand loyalty and they didn't actually stay loyal to it after seeing what it was like.
Yeah, and you don't get to keep doing that. That's the thing. You don't get to keep doing that after you've expended. You build up consumer goodwill. It's a currency. Yeah, you build that up over a number of years, and then you throw it all away on something like Diablo 3, and I can guarantee you that people will not trust Blizzard on Diablo again. And all of the drama surrounding it and everything that Jay Wilson did essentially poisoned the brand, and there's an awful lot of people that don't trust them anymore. And just saying, oh, it sold a lot, that's irrelevant. It doesn't matter if it's sold a lot. It's still bad, and it still had a hell of a lot of problems. And that the whole, do we expect to get the best seat in the house on the opening night of Avengers? Oh, I've got a better idea. How about when I buy the Avengers Blu-ray, do I expect the Blu-ray to randomly cut off for no apparent reason just because a bunch of other people are also watching the same Blu-ray?
Nice, good point.
You don't get to pull the whole movie argument because, once again, it's giant false equivalency. There's a reason why it's difficult to get good seats for an opening night of a live event, because it's a limited capacity physical thing. That doesn't exist in single-player video games. At least it didn't until people started shoehorning it in there.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'll ask all of you here, if Era 37 only affected multiplayer games in Diablo and wasn't affecting single-player, would you have even given a shit?
No, No, and the thing is I don't think most people would, because then you would just play by yourself. And
Yeah,
then
you just
take
play
that
single player. It's like,
character.
it's okay. I still get to play the game that I bought on opening night, so I don't mind.
And Blizzard, I mean, I understand their defense. I don't think it's acceptable, but I understand their defense where they said, look, we projected selling 5 million this year. We sold 3.5 in 24 hours. We did not know that was going to happen. And like, that's their excuse for why Arrow 37 and all those errors occurred, because they were not prepared for that. However, with that said, it shouldn't have been a problem, because everyone should have been able to play it offline, and it shouldn't have been an issue. The fact that they made it an issue for themselves, they shot themselves in the foot with that one. It was their own damn problem. But I get
totally
what they're
avoidable.
saying, but I don't accept it. Like, I understand you. Like, I get your argument. I just don't think it's valid.
Yeah, it's just dumb. All right, okay, let's continue going this. I like debunking points, so let's keep going.
Skipped over.
Yeah, let's keep going. Okay, so Logan responds with some things, you know, it's obvious that they're trying to write this as a choice. Like, yeah, I see your point, even though the point is absolute bullshit. And this is actually why I don't like this article, is because, honestly, this article should have very much shown how stupid the whole thing is, and there's no way that PC Gamer, of all people, should be on the side of this stuff. And Logan should have just gone to town on it and torn this argument to pieces.
It shouldn't have been a two-way debate. It should have just been a one-way editorial on the subject, just tearing it apart.
Oh, no. If they wanted to do a two-way debate, they should have had it be like, me versus the person in the office we found who would defend it, and it'd be no one. And him just talking, and then defense, and nothing.
Go
talking,
get the guy who
defense,
made the decision to SimCity. Yeah, go get someone from a publisher that actually uses this stuff.
Get someone on the publisher, yeah.
Yeah, because that would have actually been a good piece of journalism, right?
Even they can't defend it.
Well, of course not. They're actually getting legendarily bad at it. Did you read the whole thing about the Dead Space creative director or executive producer defending the fact that the PC port was bare bones by saying that, oh, we don't want one version to be noticeably better than the others because we want everything to be consistent.
I was mad about that, yeah.
I went to town on that because that was the dumbest thing I've heard this year.
Yeah, they just didn't want to spend money.
Bare bones equals consistent.
Yeah, apparently. You know, we want it to be as shit as the console version because it's consistent. It's not because we're horribly lazy. It's because we want it to be consistent.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, you'll get 60 FPS and it'll be... I want it to look better than Dead Space 2 does on my PC. Like, I want it to be noticeably better, and that's, you know... But I also have that problem with Devil May Cry 2, where there's, you know, noticeable graphic things where it's like...
Really? I haven't encountered a single one yet. The game looks great.
Yeah, there's a lot of... the cutscenes...
Oh, you're talking about the cutscenes? Right. Well, I mean, the problem is that it's a stupid development practice that needs to be thrown away. The idea that what they do is they pre-record the cutscenes as a video file. That's why you're getting those frame drops. I watched my little DxTory counter. The game for me runs at about 200 FPS, which is more than enough. But when you hit
but you still get frame
cutscenes,
drops, right?
But no, you don't. It's only dropping to 30 frames per second in the cutscenes where they pre-record the cutscenes in 30 FPS.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
That's not actually a graphical problem. That's just dumb development practice that needs to be tossed out the window.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, that annoys me, and I think I'm just gonna be as annoyed in Dead Space 3 if there's stuff that I'm like, I play it on a console if I want to see something look bad.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I wouldn't own a $4,000 gaming PC if I wanted bad-looking games.
Right? I want it to look good. That's the point.
Yeah. Yeah. And okay, let's keep going on with this because there's just there's more ridiculous nonsense here. Mm-hmm. Always on DRM's inconveniences may outweigh their benefits in some cases, but I don't think we should universally reject it as a security option. We don't give a shit about security. This is not our problem. Like, if security of data and things like that is something you should be able to handle on your end because you're being paid to do it.
Pretty much. It's just as simple as that.
Yeah. He goes on to say, listen, I admit it's ridiculous for publishers to arbitrarily ask you to be online. All right, that should be the end of the argument then. But there are things we get from that seemingly raw deal. We get cloud storing for key bindings and game saves. Really, do we? Okay, because...
How big is a game save that we need that?
All right, well, you know what else does cloud storage for game saves? It's called PlayStation Plus. You know what you don't need to be online for? Every game on PlayStation.
PlayStation, yep.
It's like, I turn that on when I need it, yeah? I don't need my games to be cloud saved all the time. It's like, oh god, I'm going to be switching between laptop and computer so fucking much that I need every second it to be cloud saving to a server, right? No, I don't need that. That's stupid and pointless.
It's nice to have it as a backup, but it's just like having it exclusively being a good thing is just like, yeah, I'm really saving a lot of space on my drive from not having my save files on it.
Yeah, it's like, in brackets, I hate navigating the directory maze to figure out which random folder it's done in. God damn it. This stuff is all saved in the same place now. I mean, are you still using Windows XP? Is this the problem?
But yeah, Windows has a unified game hub.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of embarrassed that the editor-in-chief of PC Gamer is saying, oh, it's such a maze to find out which random folder stored in. They're all stored in the same place now. God damn it, guys.
I'm not even that big of a PC gamer, and I knew that.
It's easier to find. It's in the documents folder. We get social and economic features like auction houses. Not everyone loves them, but they're something. No, they're actually actively detrimental to the game. They're not something. That's not added value. That's the exact opposite.
It's less than nothing.
Yeah, it's less than nothing because it made the game actively worse. The problem that people had with Inferno for fucking months is that the way that they balanced Inferno was specifically around needing to go in the auction house and buy a very specific set of gear in order to make it work. Now, they've changed that now that they've milked all that they can out of it and the hardcore players buying the stuff because they wanted to get ahead of everybody else. It's like, talk about freaking cynical, but it's true. That was how Inferno operated for months. You needed a very specific set of gear from the auction house because you couldn't get it in drops. And, there's no active trading hub because everyone uses the auction house now. Mm-hmm. So, that can go to hell. All right, let's keep going then. Let's keep going. Because there's 2 pages of this, by the way. And I love ripping this stuff apart because, quite frankly, always on for single player is awful. And
the bottom of this page is so good. You're going to die when you read this.
This one? Yeah, okay. So Logan responds by saying, I don't reject it as a security option, and just like there are problems with DRM that developers don't anticipate, there could be benefits that I don't expect. No. There are reasons I feel you should probably expect those benefits because they would be part of the feature list. Anyway, the reason I feel like I have to hold the line is that Steam's offline mode seems like a reasonable compromise. It gives me some limited freedom to be offline. Doesn't make me feel like I'm being punished for someone else's piracy, but I don't want to give up any ground. Evan says, I agree with you. I just don't agree with the level of impact that always-on DRM has. Yes, Steam offline mode is a nice compromise, but I've probably used it once in my life during the lull between setting up an ISP after moving. Ultimately, I don't mind being asked to give up a modest amount of convenience for the greater good. The greater good? Discouraging pirates and giving developers access to useful player data that would probably improve the game. In the rare instance that my internet dies or a login server breaks, the world doesn't end, I just go and do something else. Really? The editor-in-chief of PC Gamer goes and does something else? Really? That's you know what I don't manage to do when I'm doing my job and this shit happens? I can't do my job anymore. It's kind of a bit of a problem for me. I object to it.
It's pretty bad when... Sorry.
No, go for it.
It's pretty bad when games that are designed to take you away from the monotony of life need you to find a distraction from the game being blocked by stupid methods of DRM. It's very counterintuitive to what games are actually meant to be if it's just like, oh, just go do something else.
That's a bullshit cop-out. It's like, oh, it doesn't work. It's okay because there are other things in the world that I could be doing. No, it's not okay. It's fucked. Fix it. That...
Right? If I want to do something... In this modern age where everything's on demand, if I want to do something now, I want to do it now.
It's not okay that my car breaks down in the middle of the highway just because cabs exist.
Right? And people might say that it's an entitlement thing, though, but it's something that you paid for.
You're entitled to a working... You are legally entitled. Yeah, this isn't a game entitlement. You are legally entitled to a product that is fit for purpose. That is enshrined in the law of pretty much every civilized country on the planet.
The problem is that you technically aren't buying them. You're renting them now.
Yeah,
which is a cheap maneuver.
Yeah.
But that's how they get away with it.
Well, you want to know what South Korea said to that when Blizzard said that? They said, fuck off. Basically, the South Korean government and court said, no, this is bullshit. There is a certain minimum level of service that you are required by law to actually provide, and you're not providing it, ergo, we are going to smack you about until you do. I don't mind being asked to give up a modest amount of convenience. I do. Why should we give it up for the greater good? This is piracy, unless we are actively partaking in it, is not our problem. That is not our problem. We're buying games. Why the hell should we be the guys who have to be giving up convenience? Which is it's not even just convenience. It's like the ability to play our games where we want to play them. Why should we, the legitimate customers, be giving that up? That's got nothing to do with me. I don't pirate video games.
it's not even simple convenience being given up. It's basic functionality and
Yeah.
core.
Apparently, it's convenience to be able to play the video game that you bought. Interesting.
It's convenience to have actual functionality of the product that you paid for. That is a convenience feature.
Yeah, that's 10 years ago. If you told me that, I would have laughed at you. It's like when I was putting discs in my machine. It's like, come on. You know, there are only very specific circumstances where always on is acceptable. And that's usually when it's an MMO. That's something that we accept because there's no other way of playing it.
There's no other way of playing that. It's just and the thing is, they're bringing it up earlier that like no one would care if it was only in multiplayer. And the thing is, a lot of big games are bought for the multiplayer features. A lot of people would feel like they were missing out if they weren't able to get through that if they pirated the game. There would be people like that. I mean, obviously, pirates would find a way around it, obviously. But if it was multiplayer only, no one would care. And a lot of people buy games specifically for multiplayer features.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's...
It's an impossible thing to defend, as page 2 of this pretty much proves, because it's like, should single-player games always be offline? No votes no one, basically. Yeah,
pretty much.
I know for a fact the guy did clearly not want to argue this point. He didn't do it very well either. If I'm totally honest. I'm a little bit embarrassed by the number of fallacies and false dichotomies and things that are being thrown in to defend it. But I suppose the point is that, you have to use those in order to actually even make the point, because it is so alien. It goes against everything that video games have been for the past 30 plus years. You want to know why people like consoles? Because they don't have to deal with this bullshit. They put a disc in the drive and they play their video games. It's really that simple. They don't have to worry about whether or not the authentication server is going to run today, even though, Chugga, you managed to actually run into a problem like that on consoles. And even consoles are going in that direction. But, I tell you this for a fact. I download a lot of games via PSN for my PlayStation Vita. I even download a lot through the PlayStation Plus service, which is phenomenal, I might add. $5 a month gets me a bunch of free games. They're really, really good. I don't have to pay for them. I just essentially pay this monthly fee, and I get access to all sorts of great stuff. You know what happens when I use one of those digitally downloaded games that are linked to the fact that I am a PlayStation Plus user, which you would think, oh, that's going to be DRM to hell, right? You know what happens when I play that in airplane mode on a plane? It works. You know what happens when I don't have an internet connection? I'll play it. It works. Every bloody time. Every time. Same with PSN and everything I download from that. Evidently, if you're being outdone on the DRM front by a company like Sony, then you are doing it wrong.
It's especially ridiculous. I mean, like, anyone who knows anything about Sony knows that they love proprietary stuff. They love locking stuff down. It's just...
Yeah. And these are the guys that are patenting DRM to make discs not work on more than one machine.
And Sony is better at it. It's just that's ridiculous. That shouldn't be. Yeah. Especially on something as open as PC that's typically very unlocked and open and allows you to do just about anything.
Yeah, and you know what happens when people put this stuff into their game? Pirates work around it. Oh, you got a broken version of the game? That's unfortunate, bro. I got mine for free and it works perfectly fine. I can't imagine why you had a problem when you paid $60 for it.
I know it's ridiculous though, because the pirates oftentimes have a better experience with these products.
They quite literally do a lot of the time.
Yes, they do a lot of the time. Yeah. I mean, heck, for a while this probably still even goes on with physical copies of games. I remember back when disc was still a big distribution, like before Steam caught on. There'd be games that were refused to run if you had multiple DVD drives in your computer because it would assume you were trying to copy the game if you didn't unplug it or disable the device.
Yeah, all of that sucked. That was all terrible, and we hated it. Obviously, why wouldn't we hate it? Because it's dreadful. But this is not a solution. This is actually worse. We are currently in a situation where we have a DRM system that is acceptable to most people. I still have problems with it every now and again. That's Steam that I'm talking about here, of course. But it's all right, yeah? And I choose to use the Steam service. Unfortunately, there are times when you can't choose not to use the Steam service because increasing number of games using Steam works. But we are already at this point of compromise. This is the compromise that people were most comfortable with. And you can tell that by the sales numbers. So why do we have to compromise anymore? This whole cloud saving crap, this is irrelevant. Steam can cloud save, and you know what happens when I'm offline? It doesn't cloud save, and then it cloud saves when I go back online again. I don't need access to an up-to-date version of my save file on the cloud every 2 seconds. That is an unrealistic thing that literally nobody needs. Not to mention that I could do it with Dropbox anyway. I can already do this stuff. This is not a new thing. cloud-saving key bindings is just that just boggled my mind. And every game that I've ever played that has required this nonsense, this includes games like StarCraft 2, has been plagued by problems. And I can't think of a single good example of any game where this has genuinely benefited it. SimCity will not be the first to do that. And honestly, while I could definitely understand why some people would still want to buy SimCity, I still want to buy SimCity. I am in a situation where the chances are I will not have any problems with it.
Yeah.
But I'm still going to... This is something you should count against it. If you have even the slightest inkling that this is going to be a problem for you, you should definitely count this against the game heavily when considering whether or not to buy it.
Yeah,
you have to factor this in.
Yeah, because it really is something that you should be... You really should think about it like when thinking about trying to drop money on it, especially because of how much that costs. And on top of that, well, this is opening a whole other can of worms, though. All the day one DLC and digital deluxe version of all that.
The deluxe version apparently has a ton of extra content that is not in the main version. Yeah. So basically, if you want the full game, you're paying what, $70, $80?
Yeah,
instead
$70.
Of $50.
Yeah, the digital deluxe version of SimCity, you can't even build all the buildings without having it.
Yeah, it's like what are you?
I think like the bigger fire station and bigger police station aren't even open to you, if I heard correctly.
It boggles my mind. There are some companies that are really out to completely ruin video games, and this always-on bullshit is exactly that.
It's probably just the bigwigs and investors that don't know much about games in the first place.
Not the developers.
Yeah.
It definitely isn't the developers that should be blamed. It's the publishers and their investors who don't know much about how games should be, really.
Yeah.
I mean, they got to keep their investors happy, and their investors oftentimes are people that just want to see their money returned and not necessarily see usable products put out into the market.
Pretty much. That's pretty much the gist of it, I think.
So that was a long debate on DRM and everything.
It wasn't so much a debate because we all agree on
it.
it.
Not really debate. It was just one way, just three of us just giving our own angles of it and just trashing it.
Yeah, I would quite literally love someone who genuinely believes this stuff to come on the show and debate me, but they won't happen. Because probably that person doesn't exist.
If one person exists, should we just throw down the gauntlet and see if like anybody would step forward?
Oh, please, by all means.
Yeah, if one person exists, let's have them on the TGS podcast at some point.
You email me and you let me know if you exist when it comes to. I really support online DRM and see all of the benefits that it provides.
The gauntlet has been dropped. Someone out there respond if you exist.
No one's gonna pick that up. Nobody.
I desperately want there to be someone but who's really knowledgeable. I feel like this is the end of like a really cool samurai movie where TB's that samurai who's like, I'm just looking for someone to kill me. Like, will you be the one? And I want him to show up and be right and be really be a DRM guy who knows what he's talking about. It's like, this is why it's good. And TB just be like, holy shit, you were right. And he just disappears from existence.
TB is just speechless.
I want that so badly. But it will never happen.
It'll never happen.
It'll be an amazing moment. It'd be an amazing moment to see someone be like, this is why it's good. And everyone be like, he's right. Like, no, it'd be amazing.
It will never happen, but I wish it would, though, because that'd be so fun to watch.
Right?
It'd be so cool to watch that, though, but it's a shame. It'll never happen, though. But yeah, the gauntlet has been thrown out. If you think you can debate it, email TB.
It'll never happen.
There's someone else I'd really love to debate is, of course, the Texas Senator. Was it Texas Senator or Tennessee?
Oh, my God. I know what you're talking about.
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Tennessee Republican, obviously. Lamar Alexander. Although, to be fair, there's plenty of Democrats that are just as dumb, so, But here we go. Tennessee Republican Lamar Alexander, when talking on MSNBC today, quote, I think video games is a bigger problem than guns. I mean, for one thing, his grammar is dreadful. But secondly, I think video games is a bigger problem than guns because video games affect people.
Fuck me, that's
amazing. I would laugh if this was not so flagrantly intellectually insulting.
Getting shot, that doesn't.
Yeah, video games affect people. Maybe you want to go and ask the dead kids at Sandy Hook how much guns affected them.
Yeah.
And fuck you in the process. You dumb piece of shit.
People. Holy crap, that is amazing.
God, I'm going to tell you this, right? There is only one reason why, now having my green card, I really want to shoot for U.S. citizenship. So that I can run for Senate and knock this fucker out. Quite literally.
There was that.
Why is it that these people even get into office? I mean, someone this delusional should not have any kind of power whatsoever.
Yeah.
There was a really great book that was basically the idea was, look, if you have the money, even an idiot can get an office.
Oh yeah, of
like
course.
you
Yeah.
don't really need a lot to become.
All right, well
like,
that shouldn't be a
dumb
problem.
as
Since
shit.
I have more YouTube money than God, I could clearly get into office. So I'll just get my U.S. citizenship and then I can run.
There's a reason why a lot of people get into office often take pay cuts at it, is because they want to get into office that bad and they got the money to do it.
Yeah, it boggles my mind that this kind of view could even be put out by anybody. Yeah. And the fact that some people are supporting it, I mean, who is he pandering to here? We all know that politics is all really about pandering to your specific demographic, but I assume we're talking about fundamentalist right-wing nut jobs. But even then...
it's I guarantee the various gun lobbies pay a lot of his expenses. And so
I would imagine so, yeah.
It's pointing fingers, and we talked about this before. It's always point fingers at something else besides what the problem is. And the problem in this case is guns, and the solution is pointed at TV, movies, video games.
You know, I don't want to get too political here, but I don't even agree that the problem's guns. The problem is most likely the way that mental health care is handled in this country, because there's always been one thing that has been universally true for all of these people, and that's that they were insane. It's like, well, if there were better detection methods for that and better ways of treating it, then maybe we wouldn't have so many crazy people. You know,
and we're talking about gun control on a gaming podcast.
That's why I want to move away from it. I really want to. I want to be the hell away from this.
But the idea is simple. It's the idea that the discussion should be either about gun control or mental health, not about how video games are causing you to kill someone. Yeah, that. I mean, that's the kind of thing.
Video games shouldn't even be on the table. They shouldn't even be being discussed.
Blame the people that did it and the people around them for not catching it sooner. Don't blame what they do in their leisure time.
Yeah,
just ignoring the fact that God, I hate repeating myself on this. Like the Secret Service did a big study on this, and video games were the least popular form of media for people that essentially went on shooting rampages.
Yeah,
there's
nothing has ever
again.
proven it.
I know that TB is very good friends with these gentlemen, but Penn and Teller do a show called Bullshit that is amazing.
I wish I was very good friends with them. I have had the pleasure to speak to them both in person and take photos with the giant man with his great hair. So in one of their episodes, they did video game violence, and they had this little kid, and he loved shooter games, and they're like, hey, we're going to take you out to a gun range, and you can shoot real guns. He fires a real, semi-automatic and starts crying. Like, the kid, there's a distinct level, there's a difference between a real weapon and just shooting video game characters. And I don't understand how people can't see that. But it's there, it exists. Guns are scary, man. I've fired plenty of guns, and there is a palpable feeling of serious power behind these things. I mean, I went to, when I was in Nevada, actually, I fired 16 different automatic weapons because I felt like it. And it was a lot of fun, but there were a couple of those guns. I think the AK, and I believe it was the M4 when they chambered it with I don't know what kind of ammunition it was. 332 maybe or whatever. It wasn't 9mm. It had a lot more punch to it, but that thing was scary. That thing, you fire that thing, you're like, this is an animal. And that wasn't even, there's stuff like you fire a 44 Magnum, a Deagle, and things like that, and that's even worse. And it is right to respect and fear these weapons because they are actually terrifying pieces of equipment, right?
Yeah. And you can go even beyond just the fact there's a huge difference between firing a weapon and firing a video game, though, that you could also argue, no, you don't even argue it, that it's a form of stress relief, is that because you're doing it in a video game, you're a lot less likely to go do it in real life because your stress has been relieved. You have just been able to just get angry in a video game instead of getting angry in real life.
I don't know how true it really is, but it's definitely a form of stress relief. I mean,
they've actually done studies about that.
Yes.
People who play shooters and violent video games are less stressed than those who do not.
Yes,
because they relieve their stress and anger through that.
That's
just
what
like
I'm
people
referencing.
Just like people who work out, they're less stressed than people who don't because they expend their energy in something rather than just sitting there like.
It's a stress outlet, and it's a fun stress outlet that that anyone can really enjoy because games are very accessible these days, and it's just it's stupid to say that's probably why video games are not very popular with people that do this kind of stuff because it's a form of stress relief that they're just simply not doing.
Well, not only that, but there's more and more games that encourage you to play with other people and actively socially interact with them, which is not exactly the hallmark of a psychopath, right?
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
That's
Why didn't the DRM guy say that?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We're putting always on DRM in all games to force psychopaths to interact with other people, which will be a warning sign that they're going to go and kill a bunch of kids in a school. Yeah, there we go. That's actually a better argument than that entire article put together.
That's exactly what that is.
You got it. We found a way to
you basically managed to jam think of the children in there, and that's like a trump card
You
right
can't
there.
beat that.
Can't
Yeah.
beat think of the children. Yeah, can't beat that.
And then you got on the subject of this article of video games being supposedly worse than guns. I mean, I'm sure you heard of that gem last week of video games being blamed for causing cancer.
Oh, everything causes cancer. That's irrelevant. I mean,
Yeah.
there was another guy, as either a senator or congressman, who basically said that gamers should just quiet down. That they don't have a point in this discussion. It's like,
wow.
You're right about one thing. Games shouldn't have a point in this discussion. This shouldn't even be being discussed. So we'll pipe down if you do.
I like how he's like, those uppity gamers that are all popped down.
It's like, yeah, I'm all for the First Amendment, except when it's being used to criticize government, right?
Yeah.
Okay, this is getting far too bullying. I'm getting away from this right now. Screw it. Let's go on to releases. Let's find out what's coming out this week. So, we can go on to Steam. We can go and have a look at some recent releases if you want, because actually things are starting to get moving thick and fast on the subject of this. Dungeon Land just came out. Just a big up for everyone there. Initial reports are pretty good. Apparently, there's still a couple of issues with disconnections that I'm hearing about. So that's something that we experienced in the beta, and it's something you may wish to consider. Wow, there we go. Sorry, my Steam just completely obliterated your cameras there for a second. So that's definitely something to consider there. Apparently, the AI is not very good with the bots, so if you are buying it for a single-player experience, don't. Because that's really not what it's good at. It is very much a co-op game, yeah? So don't buy it for single-player. Buy it with people that you know you're going to play with, because that's the way that you enjoy that. So that's definitely a warning on that. Currently available for $10, the original equivalent there on Steam, also on things like Gamersgate. And you could buy a 4-pack, 3 for the price of 3. 3 for the price of 4 would be pretty terrible, but 4 for the price of 3. Recent releases as well, obviously Devil May Cry on PC came out, and Ace Combat Assault Horizon Enhanced Edition came out of nowhere. So that's a slightly cheaper version of Assault Horizon.
That is the single worst Ace Combat game. So
yeah,
here's what I'll say.
It's actually
if you don't give two shits about story, but you like seeing things explode and like kind of cool looking combat, then play it. But if you like Ace Combat games, which are all about story, you'll absolutely hate this.
It's Ace Combat Assault Horizon is actually like Devil May Cry in the sense that they reinvented what the series was, and they didn't do it very well. And you could say about Devil May Cry, oh, well, it's mechanically quite nice, it's interesting looking. The problem with Ace Combat is that it's got helicopters in it. That's probably the biggest problem I have with it. Nobody asked for helicopters in Ace Combat. It slows the gameplay down to a crawl, which is something that Ace Combat has never really been about. And
but they're helicopters, and we were talking about this earlier. Helicopters make everything better.
No, they don't. They don't.
Not in this case. But the problem is that
they handle really badly.
In the past 7 or so Ace Combat games, they've always been in a fictional world, in a fictional setting, with fictional character. And now they're like, by the way, this is America and the UN.
This is all real life.
And now we're in Africa. And when they do that, there's no room for legit story because they don't want to step on anyone's toes. Even the bad guy Russians are just little fringe, and there's only like 4 of them, so they're not really Russians. So no one get mad at us.
Yeah, there's a lot of nonsense there, and there was also a lot of very fanciful stuff in Ace Combat. Always like crazy bosses, and this like super flying fortresses here, and you're fighting a spaceship and stuff like that.
And now you're flying through a tunnel in your jet that wouldn't, be ripped apart from that.
Yeah,
but things like that are amazing. We have to like fly at each other. Those kind of like fanciful, amazing things are great about the series. And then this one, they're just like, you're dogfighting a dude. Oh no, you're flipping. It's cool. It's visceral. The music is really good when you're in a dogfight.
Not as good as the previous games, though.
But it doesn't feel... You have no emotional investment in it. When it's over, you're like, wait, that was like 12 missions. Ace Combat 5 had like 25. It's like,
pretty much like in the previous Ace Combat games. It's funny that we're talking about this because it's probably exactly what Devil May Cry fans think. But I do actually have I do also have some good things to say about Assault Horizon. I'll get onto those in a second. But the way that Ace Combat always was is that you never really had a protagonist that kind of had any sort of real character development. Who's always kind of a faceless guy. Here you actually play as somebody specifically, and he talks to other people. It's like, no, that's not Ace Combat did a really good job of telling the story because it talked about the war, not about a specific person, and it turned you essentially into a legend because everyone else was talking about you, and you were like in news articles, and you were always a very kind of vague but almost mythological hero in Ace Combat games.
Even in Ace Combat Zero, which was it might have been the first one where you didn't really have a squadron. There was a story between you.
It definitely wasn't the first one. Ace Combat Zero: The Belkin War is the one you're talking about there.
Yeah. It didn't. You didn't have your character didn't have a personality really, but the guy who was your co-pilot, who spoiler is the bad guy. You should have played it by now.
Yeah.
The game is focused on him. Everyone's telling the story of him.
Yeah.
And so even though it's a one character focused story, you're focusing on how this guy goes from being how this guy goes from being like a hero to turning against everything he believes in order to basically nuke the entire world.
Yeah.
Like that kind of plot is amazing. And so I'm like, you know what? That's cool. This thing they did with Horizon is like, it's cool looking, but it's all flash, no substance.
Yeah, the main problem I have with the game is the helicopters. The actual dogfighting and stuff, there are some mechanics. The chase mechanic, I actually quite like it. It looks really, really good. It's actually kind of a lot of fun. And it also encourages a lot of gunplay rather than just missile spam. And you can still do, aside from like the first mission where it basically forced you to do it, you can still do regular combat in that game. You can do that. So you're not necessarily forced into the close range assault system, which is what they call it. But apparently the online mode's pretty good too. And the PC version is enhanced with a lot more aircraft. It's got way better graphics. There's apparently a huge content pack and all sorts of other crazy stuff that's involved in it. It's cheaper as well. Unfortunately, it's games for Windows Live, so yeah, enjoy. You want to talk about dumb DRM? There's one, but yeah, the fucking thing has a turret section. I hate that. It's like, oh, you're going to be a door gunner. Nobody wants to play a fucking turret section in an Ace Combat game. We want to fly around like a goddamn ace with 300 missiles because fuck realism and gun people down.
There's actually a petition online right now to get Ace Combat 4 and 5 together in like a single
HD
set.
pack?
Yeah, and
I'll play the hell out of it. Ace Combat 4 was great.
Amazing.
Shattered Sky, I think it was called, or Shattered Horizon, I don't know.
And
I
Unsung
played
Wars
that.
5. Those are two of the best flight games I've played in forever. 5, I still remember the end of that. I'm like, Chopper!
Zero was definitely one of my favorites. Belkin War, where it had a great storyline, and you also fought against some crazy stuff. I loved Belkin War.
Plus, it explains 5. It explains the backstory of 5. They're all connected in this fake world. I was like, this is an amazing series.
Yeah.
And then 6 came out, and that was like, meh.
I liked 6. I thought 6 was great. It was a fun game.
6 was good. I wouldn't say it was great. And then they did
great music
Assault
too.
Horizon, and it's like, screw it. I'm done. You guys are killing me. You better go back to the originals.
I'll probably play it again. I had it on 360 and I didn't like it all that much, and I stopped playing it after the first few missions because of the helicopter stuff. Maybe they'll mod the helicopter stuff out. That would be nice, actually. If they can mod all of the helicopter missions out of the game, then I'll probably enjoy it a lot more, and maybe I'll have fun with it online. So anyway, yeah, that's out on Steam right now, and you can definitely check that out. Out today, there's Proteus, which is a experimental game with some really odd graphics, actually. I'll have to look into this and see what's going on with it. It's by a developer called Ed Key and David Kanaga. So it's two guys, published by Twisted Tree. Might be worth having a look into. I'm gonna have a, I'll have a look at it and see what it's all about. It seems very abstract, which I'm never really into abstract games, honestly. What else is coming out? Well, just FYI, it would be a good idea to keep an eye on Origin because they've just released the open beta for Crysis 3 multiplayer.
Yeah,
so,
they have.
Yeah, that's also on console if you happen to want to play it there. So I would look into that. I'm going to check it out after the show. Looking forward to trying another triple A shooter.
I downloaded it specifically to test. I haven't actually turned it on, but to test my computer to see if it can play Crysis 3.
Of course it can.
I am really concerned because the reason I had to upgrade my computer the first time was Crysis 2 was killing it.
Really?
So I'm like, oh boy.
Whenever a Crysis game comes out, that's how you do it. It exists pretty much just to see, can my PC run
yes
it?
And no.
It's like screw playing the game, just see if my PC can run it. Then I can brag.
Crysis 2 actually took less system requirements than Crysis 1 did, because Crysis 2 was essentially a console port. And even after the HD texture pack, it still wasn't as good. Apparently, there's people that are still modding the game to not look terrible, so they're continually working on that. But it's worth checking out. Apparently, there's a hunter mode, which sounds amazing. It's part of the beta whereby... Yeah, there's a bow and arrow and you're invisible and everyone else is hunting you down. That sounds brilliant. I love stuff like that. That's very much kind of the hidden inspired or the old Alien vs. Predator 2000 game modes. Yeah, all over that. That sounds great. What else is coming out? Well, 30th of January, which is today if you're watching the live stream. A couple of days ago if you happen to be watching the VOD. Wizardry Online, which is the new SOE game, is out. That's a free-to-play game that just came out on Steam. You can try that out. Apparently it's super hard and it's kind of a little bit Demon Souls-y, so I'm interested in checking that out.
Demon Souls-y, that's a good way of putting it.
Skulls of the Shogun comes out on PC and Xbox Live Mobile, which is useless to you because Windows 8 and about 3 people have Windows 8. So it's like, I would have loved that game, but I don't want to upgrade to Windows 8. So, yeah, screw that. I guess I'm not playing it. January 31st, Antichamber. Highly anticipated game. I actually do have an exclusive video that I filmed at PAX, which is probably one of the best videos we've recorded with a developer because there's some super mind games going on. I have that on my hard drive from PAX. I am going to dig it up and I'm going to publish it because the game comes out tomorrow. I decided to hold on to it because it's a very special game. Let's just put it that way. Don't necessarily like it, but it's a very special game. Omerta City of the Gangsters also, which is looking very cool, is out on the January the 31st. It is a tactical strategy game involving mobsters, which sounds super great. It is by Calypso, which means it might be great or it might be dreadful. So yeah. I have code for that. NDA, I believe, on that expires midnight, so I'll be able to check that out. Sonic All-Stars Racing Transform coming out for PC as well, which includes TF2 characters with terrible voice acting. Yeah, they didn't even get the original voice actors. The pyro sounds awful. Oh, God.
How do you screw up the pyro?
It's really hard. Yeah, they screwed up the pyro.
Like, how do you screw that up? It's just...
Yeah, but that game is actually amazing. It's really, really good. Obviously, I will not be able to cover it on my channel because loyal boycott. Oh, God damn it. Yeah. They also included the manager from Football Manager as an actual drivable character, which is hilarious in and of itself.
Football Manager had hilarious box art too, by the way.
Oh, yes. Always does. Always does. But, yeah, I mean, that game will probably be really good. And this time around, they've actually included full online support, which is something they didn't do in the original version of Sonic and Sega Racing on PC because Sumo Digital are a bunch of idiots. But apparently that's now been resolved. Let's see. If you, for some reason, have not played Little Inferno yet, an iPad version is coming out on January the 31st.
That is a great game.
Yes, it is.
Get it for iPad if you haven't gotten it yet. It'll be good. Trust me.
It'll also be cheap. So
it's such simple fun. Like you can just lay back and just enjoy it. It's so mindless.
Yep. Retrovirus is coming out tomorrow on PC. This is exciting because this was actually a failed Kickstarter. This is a unique story because what happened was they're trying to make a Descent style game. Yeah, the whole 6 Degrees of Freedom shooter. I played the alpha. It was pretty good. It didn't make its Kickstarter goal, and then GameStop actually came along and said, I think the story was that someone like high up in GameStop really liked Retrovirus and said, how about we set up a deal where we actually promote Retrovirus with a playable demo in stores and we kind of do a deal there. So GameStop actually supporting indie PC gaming is the most bizarre thing I've ever heard of. But they did, and apparently the game's now done and it's coming out January the 31st. So that's really great news. So I'm going to be checking that one out, certainly. And February the 4th in the US, this is one to look out for if you happen to be an SRPG fan. New Fire Emblem game for the 3DS. Currently, reviews coming out say it's absolutely incredible. And
Which angers me because it's 3DS. I need to buy one.
It's a killer app apparently for 3DS. As in, like after Super Mario Land 3D, it is a killer app for 3DS. So that'll give me an excuse to play on my 3DS again because it turns out Code of Princess was bad, which sucked. But Fire Emblem, yeah, there's already 17 reviews out. I don't pay much attention to this, but some people do. The average Metacritic score is currently 91. That's pretty ridiculous. So, yeah, that's insane. So I'm all over Fire Emblem because it's essentially what Shining Force was, and that's pretty much what Shining Force ripped off anyway. So that's pretty cool. I'm knocking bottles everywhere because I feel like it. And February the 5th, the big releases. 2 big releases. We've got Dead Space 3 on PC, Xbox, and PS3, which, considering the business model and the PC port, let's just say if you're in a mood to hear some ranting, you're probably going to hear it on Dead Space 3, because everything about that game has already pissed me off before I played it. And Sly Cooper, Thieves of Time, coming out for Vita, PS3, that'll be available digitally on day one, as well as a version. Otherwise, is that a cross-buy game? I think it is.
What? Sly Cooper?
Yeah, I think Sly Cooper is... Yeah, it's a cross-buy game. So that means if you buy the PS3 version, you get the Vita version for free, which is a goddamn amazing system.
Wow.
I love that. That's really cool.
It's like PlayStation All-Stars, yeah?
Yeah, I was about to say, like PlayStation All-Stars, yeah.
Yeah, it's cross-buy is one of the best ideas. I don't know what it is. Sony lately have come up with some amazing stuff, and PlayStation Plus is one of them. Cross-buy is an amazing system because they realize, nobody wants to buy the same version of the game twice just because they want to take it portable. So they're like, all right, you don't have to. Here, have it free when you buy the PS3 version. Yes! All of this. More of this, please.
More free stuff when you buy expensive games.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So I will buy... I've never played a Sly Cooper game before, so I'm actually kind of looking forward to it. I want to see what it's all about.
I mean, remember Sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was saying, like, remember the days when games actually, came with stuff and didn't need a pre-order or anything like that? Like, the Pokemon card game actually coming with Pokemon cards. In the 90s, you know what any 90s person knows what I'm talking about. What happened to games actually coming with stuff?
Stuff is... optional extras now via DLC.
Pretty much.
And one last game, which could be hilarious. Fist of the North Star Kin's Rage 2 is coming.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it now. It's maybe the same guys who make Dynasty Warriors.
Yes.
So I have to play this. I have to play this game.
Do you like making people explode in a very repetitive manner? Then Ken's Rage will probably be the game for you. The fact that this got a sequel blows my mind. PS3 and Xbox is the platform for that.
Dude,
the original one was really not very good.
Fist of the North Star, that might, besides Akira, that may have been my first anime way back in the day.
That was for so many people. It really was.
Yeah.
Like, do you want to see ridiculous barrel-chested men making other men explode into blood? Then welcome to Fist of the North Star.
Yep. That is the soft spot in my heart for this game, so I have to play
The best quote for the original one was, Ken's Rage is an atrociously repetitive game that bafflingly remains entertaining in spite of its best efforts at self-sabotage.
Right?
A quote from the gods right there. Oh, God. Yeah, that's... I would probably not buy this at full price, but I might buy it at $10 to laugh at it.
Well, apparently they're saying that it's downloadable. Like, PlayStation, I'm hoping it's on the network as free on PlayStation Plus.
It will be at some point, probably.
One can only hope.
Yeah, it's on because a lot of games now are basically coming out on day one on PS3. Ni no Kuni did, and I downloaded it and then immediately regretted my 28 gigabyte download. But it would be okay if PSN actually went at full speed on anyone's connection, but it never does. So it took forever to download that, but. Yep, Ken's Rage 2, because, we all asked for that sequel. All right, I think we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll be looking through a couple of trailers. I know Chugga's looking very enthusiastic at this, because they're all from Nintendo Direct. We'll be looking at trailers for Monolith Soft's game X, as well as Shin Megami Tensei X Fire Emblem, and the wonderful 101 from Platinum. And in the meantime, we are going to take a short break, folks, so please stick with us on the Game Station podcast. We'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Game Station podcast. Before we go on, by the way, I'd like to make you aware of something, which is kind of cool. So Adam Sessler just got done talking a few hours ago on Fox News, if any, of all places, on the subject of violent video games, and it was a surprisingly good interview. Not because Adam Sessler, doesn't give good interviews, but because Fox News actually let him. But I would recommend that you watch it. I'm going to make a little tiny URL link for you just to make this a little bit easier for you to find. So it's going to be tinyurl.com/ I put in cesspit, but that's going to be used already.
Adam.
I just want to come up with... let's just...
cesspool. Adam Cesspool.
Yeah, I'm just going to call it... It's going to be... tinyurl.com/ TotalBiscuit podcast link, because I couldn't come up with anything else that would have worked. Yeah, so if you go to tinyurl.com/ TotalBiscuit podcast link, then you're going to see an interview with Adam Sessler. It's about 4 minutes long. It's really, really good, and I think he did a great job of representing gamers as a whole, and he generally does this anyway. So if you would like to thank him for that and make him hate me for spamming his Twitter feed, then you can send over a message of thanks to @Adam Sessler on Twitter. That's 2 S's in the Sess, by the way. @Adam Sessler. He did a really good job. I'm impressed. All right, so let us move on from the political bullshit and let's talk about cool stuff like everything that we saw.
Bailouts or releases.
Yeah, man. Now, last week we did talk a little bit about the Nintendo Direct stuff, but we were actually in the studio, as it were, and we were unable to show trailers. This time around, we are not handicapped by such things. We are not in the Matrix anymore. And we also have ChuggaConroy, who is essentially the expert of all things Nintendo, so should be able to tell us a great deal about this. So I've got the Monolith Soft trailer, the Wonderful 101, and the Shin Megumi Tensei X Fire Emblem teaser. So which one do you want to start with?
Let's go with the Wonderful 101. That was my most anticipated game for the Wii U up until the Monolith game getting announced, of course.
All right, let's check it out.
The alien invasion of Earth will be met by a group of fearless warriors that number just 100 souls. 100 wonderful defenders of our world. Fists will erupt with volcanic fury. Blades will slice with razor-sharp precision. And bullets will fire with incredible speed. Their faces are forever masked. Their tombs are forever unknown. They are the Wonderful 101. I knew we forgot someone. You.
All right, that looks amazing.
I hate to tell you, but you actually got the wrong trailer. That was from a Nintendo Direct over 3 months ago.
Oh, did I? Oh, bollocks. That's my... All right, okay, I'll blame the
looks
Romanian.
good.
Blame the Romanian. It's his fault. Yep. So he's
to be
one
honest,
my
in
research.
Romania, it's still September. So, just be...
They haven't had time and democracy imported yet, but
it still
he wouldn't argue with me on the democracy point. Apparently, the politics over there is seriously corrupt.
It still looks very good though, because it's basically beat 'em up gameplay plus Pikmin, which I really like that a lot.
Yeah.
I'm looking more forward to this than I am to Pikmin 3. Is how excited I am for this. And obviously, it's by Platinum. It's directed by Hideki Kamiya, who created Devil May Cry and Okami. I'm looking very forward to that. So
hopefully, it has no unnecessary puzzling and platform elements in it.
I can say for a fact though that there are a few puzzles in it, demo that I played. There's how you transform into a hand. There were times where you have to turn a dial to I think it was cracking a safe or something with that hand.
That seems okay.
Yeah,
is this the one that involves? There is something in this room that you must pull in order to make this crap happen.
No, it wasn't like that. It was very straightforward. It was pretty quick.
It's very much the Riven style of puzzling. You press this button, something happens on the island. Try and figure out what it is. No. Go away. This is
it wasn't like that. It's pretty straightforward. I mean, it's it plays like a beat 'em up, just with elements of Pikmin.
Sounds hilarious. I'm all for that. Yeah.
It looks like it's got some really good humor in it too. So I guess we're moving on from that.
Yep. Should we move on to the Monolith Soft thing?
Go ahead.
This is essentially. It's hard to say what this really is. I mean, they're calling it X right now. I just want your opinion on this before we start off. Is this a sequel to Xenoblade? Is this something in the Xenoblade universe? Is this nothing to do with Xenoblade? Is this a HD remake of it? What is it?
This is definitely not an HD remake of it. I can tell you right now.
Okay.
But as for a sequel, a lot of people are thinking that it could take place in the same universe, especially not only because of the X in the title looking very similar to the X in Xenoblade, but it's a red X, and there's mechs all over it, which make people think Xenogears.
Yeah. Okay.
I'd be okay with that.
So,
I wouldn't complain. Let's have a look at it. So this is Monolith Soft's new project for the Wii U, which is simply titled right now X.
And the best part is you can't possibly have the wrong trailer because there's only one.
There you go, X, as they're currently calling it right there, which looks pretty awesome in many ways. Some people say, oh, is it like Monster Hunter? Well, not really. It's a lot of damage numbers. It's more of an RPG than Monster Hunter is, so...
Yeah, it is. It's basically like Xenoblade's battle system, just cleaned up a lot.
Yeah.
Like, it looks like that...
Fight giant crabs with lasers.
Giant enemy
crabs.
Beat you to it.
Yeah.
There's some interesting stuff in this trailer. I'm pretty sure it's all over the internet by now, though. But some interesting stuff that you could see in this trailer. First off is that the character names are Player 1, Player 2, and Player 3. And then on top of that, you can see like your party members like moving independently, like way off in the background in a few points, which all implies that this game is flat out online and that all 3 people in your party can be human controlled.
Yeah.
Which is something that a lot of people wanted Xenoblade to have, and was one of the few things that a lot of reviews said it was lacking. And then on top of that, you can also see a chat going on at the bottom of the screen, so that basically confirms it. That'd be really cool, like playing a big RPG and like being able to like chat with your friends that are playing it with you, like on the Wii U controller, like having like a little keyboard in there, or like having like a headset plugged into the Wii U controller. Like, there are multiplayer RPGs out there that are online, though, but, like, something of, like, this scale, like, seems like it could be really, really, really fun, especially if it's got, like, that same battle system that Xenoblade had.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It seems like we've got a nice little bit of Phantasy Star Online going on with that. Which evokes some very good memories until my character was hacked by someone with a Game Shark. Fuck Game Shark, by the
way. and then there's also you could see that the main protagonist is black hair, and then you see someone with dirty blonde hair and like bluish green eyes at the end of it. A lot of people are wondering if that is Shulk from Xenoblade and that he would actually like be involved in this game somehow, which would confirm that it's in the same universe. If it's not, at the very least, he could be like a descendant or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, that's why we bring you on the show to spout all that, because I don't know anything about this.
I know I can't really say I know the whole Xeno series. I've never played the Xeno Saga games, but...
Don't worry,
that's mostly cutscenes.
Yeah, you didn't miss anything.
I've heard people say the Xeno Saga games are, like, extremely confusing, and it's mostly Xenogears and Xenoblade that are really good.
I tried to play them, and I failed miserably.
Xenogears, terrific series. Xenosaga, not really much there. Xenoblade, good. Yeah. So you're right. You're right on.
Good. Yes, I must play it.
I'm sorry.
I am ordering you.
Yeah, I'm gonna play it on emulator. I actually own the physical disc, but I'm gonna play it on Dolphin because I can get it up to 1080p on my machine. So why would I not? You know. Dolphin emulator, man, it's really, really good. Runs GameCube games, runs Wii games really well, upscales them. So, plus, since you have to pay basically next to nothing for all the really good Wii games now, you can just buy them, stick them in your CD drive, and done. You know, it's incredibly easy. I would recommend it.
So what are we moving on to next? We got Bayonetta 2.
We're going to do Shin Megami Tensei X Fire Emblem. That would be the third and the last one we're going to do, since we are running out of time. So, this is a very short one. So, here we go. There you go. That was nice and short, needless to say. Nice little teaser trailer for a crossover, which indicates solely this is going to be an SRPG, which makes me go, yay! So, this is kind of good news. I mean, I've only got into this series very recently. I've never played a Fire Emblem game. This one, the one that's coming out on DS on the 4th, will be my first. And my experience with Shin Megami Tensei, I played a little bit of Digital Devil Saga, which never worked for me. And then I played Persona, which is the thing about Persona is that it's very much flipping the kind of thing on its head. So it's a very different game to the other SMT games. Nocturne is apparently great. People keep telling me play Nocturne. So I think I probably will at some point. But yeah, an SRPG, that means a strategic RPG, kind of in the same vein as Final Fantasy Tactics War of the Lions and things like that. A strategic RPG, which I very much like. And yeah, it looks pretty phenomenal. There's not a lot to be really said from that. Do you recognize any of the characters that were presented there?
I don't.
I hate to say it, but this is going to be one trailer that I'm not going to have much to say about because A, I've never played a Fire Emblem game, and B, I've never played a Shin Megami Tensei game. I've never played one game from either of these series.
Now would be a perfect time to start, by the sounds of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I'd never played a
Looks-
Phoenix Wright game for a while, and I started playing those just solely
Oh,
because of
they're
the
great.
crossover game between that and Professor Layton. Because I love Professor Layton, though. But now there's words that we're not getting Ace Attorney versus Professor Layton. I'm just like, what? It's like I started playing these games solely for that, and I'm just like, I mean, they're good games though, but yeah, I guess I played them for nothing if that was the reason why I got into them. But hey, at least I got something good out of them.
Yeah, there's a game called Soul Hackers coming out for the 3DS quite soon as well, which is another SMT game. So I don't know what's going on in that trailer, but all I know is this sounds exciting, and Atlas and Nintendo are doing crazy shit again. This is good. I like more of that. Let's do that. Definitely.
So it looks like it'll be crazy.
Yep.
All right, so that does it for trailers then.
I guess so.
Well, yeah, that's pretty much wrapped up, honestly. I mean, we're almost at 6 p.m. anyways, because things we did start at the right time. Things kind of overran. We can maybe do one host topic before we wrap the show up, if you happen to have a good one.
You
probably don't, do you?
No.
Every time I say to people, like, come up with host topics, you got a couple of hours just to make sure. No one actually ever does, because like we usually run out of time before we get there. But
We usually.
this time, nope. So you guys suck. Just
My pun was
FYI.
ignored.
What?
You all suck.
Mm.
Come
Okay,
on, Jesse,
so
surely
let's-
you've got something.
I have nothing. I have nothing to complain about. I have nothing to
We
talk
all
about.
suck!
Yeah, no, that can't be true. You always have something to complain about. Come on.
No, I have been living in my own little happy world for a while, doing my thing. I mean, I have nothing is topical to me. Like, I mean, the thing that is topical, we can't talk about because guns in America. So,
Guys, I'm gonna
Yes.
link you to something.
Okay.
I'm linking you to a picture.
okay.
Just click that.
Let's see what we have.
Nice. We have already.
We have concept art.
Oh,
Yeah,
Jesus
concept art.
Christ. All right, I'm going to have to show it on stream, aren't I? Yes.
This is being retweeted. Retweet.
All right. I'm adding it to the podcast so you can see this. This is dreadful.
No,
It
it's
is beautiful.
It's concept art for the greatest game of all time, is what it is.
It's beautiful. That's a beautiful thing right there.
You put just
Yeah.
concept. This is the kind of stuff that you end up with.
This is a dreadful idea.
This is
Everything-
our.
Whatever.
There is
This is our-
nothing redeeming about this picture. Nothing.
What do you mean? The whole thing
Mega
is
Loss is shooting a lightsaber at a tornado.
you're shooting a lightsaber out of a bow. What more do you want? At a tornado, no less.
Yeah, I think you're missing the point.
From a
Andy.
helicopter.
I must
You're
be.
missing the
I
point.
must be missing the point.
This game
The
will
problem
change.
is okay. The problem is that you were not born an American. That's the problem.
Hey, you just don't get it. You just don't get it. It's an American British thing. You just will never understand.
Yeah.
That is awful.
And that's how you waste some time.
Okay, well, we got shooting lightsabers out of bows inside of helicopters. He's got Stephen Fry, so it kind of balances out.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
and keep
Never seen
Piers
that man
Morgan.
shoot
We
light-
don't want him back.
All right, so
We
Well,
should
that was a good waste of a couple of
stuff
minutes,
now?
wasn't it?
Yes, let's shamelessly promote.
Yeah, we can shamelessly promote, and let's talk about the Blood Bowl League actually before we wrap this up, because people keep asking, when's the Blood Bowl League going to start? It's going to start early February. I'm supposed to be having a production meeting with everyone tomorrow, which means half of them probably won't show up, but yeah. So the Blood Bowl League is 8 channels, which is myself, Jesse, Dodger, Krendor, Angry Joe, The Completionist, Bebop Vox, and Sidestrafe. They're all going to be playing Blood Bowl. Jesse, have you decided who you're playing as yet?
Not yet, and I'm gonna wait until I figure out who you guys are playing as, because
You're going to power
I'm
game the
actually
shit out of
going-
this thing, or what?
I'm actually going really hardcore, and I want to judge my competitors and determine my best chances. I want to win. I'm
You're
not gonna
taking
lie.
this shit seriously. All right.
I am.
That's unfortunate. I was hoping you'd play goblins, but I guess not.
No, it's very tempting just to see what happens, but I'd rather not perpetually lose. So
it can get pretty frustrating after a while, especially as goblins. Like he's like, oh great, I got 9 major injuries in my first round, and my team is half dead. Yeah, it's not so ideal. But you already know who I'm playing. I'm playing Chaos Dwarves, so the kind of mid-level-ish team. I just like the way that they play. They're not the best team, but they're pretty cool. That's often the way with a lot of teams in Blood Bowl, is that it doesn't matter if they're the best team, it's if they fit your playstyle. Chaos Dwarves definitely does. It's very bashy.
Very bashy.
Yeah, bashy is it's official term, man. It's official
I'll keep that in mind now to go on the internet and discover every strategy against them I can.
Bashy, bashy.
Bashy, bashy.
So yeah, that's coming soon, guys.
Yep, that is coming soon. That's going to be a thing. It'll be a round robin tournament. It's going to be a 7-week event because obviously it's round robin with 8 players, so we'll have 7 matches. And they will be played once a week. So you'll be seeing 4 matches a week, basically, everyone's going to post their own perspective. So you can watch it on whoever's channel you want. And hopefully, if I manage to get it done, there'll be like highlights and plays of the week and stuff like that. And I'll update you every week as to who's doing the best and stuff. Should be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to crushing people at it. Hopefully that will happen. It probably won't. Knowing my luck, it's going to be the worst run I've ever had in Blood Bowl. And that happens sometimes. There are just times when you get fucked over by the dice, and there is nothing you can do about it. But, yeah, we'll give it a shot.
That always is.
Yeah, it very much is.
We'll just nickname the dice Husky, and that way we can expect it.
Yeah.
Hey-o!
Husky is not in this because I can't trust him. So he's fuck that guy. He's a horrible cheater. If you haven't already seen it, you should probably go watch the Chivalry Duelathon for TGS. There's 8 channels that are covered, as well as there's commentary on TGS of the semifinals and the finals, which is pretty cool because it's commentated by the losers, which include you, Jesse.
Yep.
Yeah. So
it's just us. It's myself, Krendor, and Simon and Lewis just being very jealous and catty bitches.
Oh yeah. I watched the semis of that, and I was just like so happy to hear that. I don't want to spoil the results too much for anyone, but it's not a spoiler to hear that they lost. But anyway, it's something. Yeah, it's something that you should definitely look into. I feel it's pretty fun. We enjoyed ourselves immensely. Obviously, it was the guys that made Chivalry that asked us to do that. It's like, hey, do you want to do a tournament and we'll give you some money? It's like, yeah. Of course we will. We like that game anyway. So, yeah, we did that, and it was fun. Worth checking out. Other stuff on the Game Station Network. There is, I believe, a new Fast Facts over at youtube.com/lore. You might want to go and have a look at that. Yeah, Fast Facts for Assassin's Creed. Yeah, Assassin's Creed. And there is a new lore in a minute for Max Payne. And last week it was Ratchet and Clank lore in a minute. So if you missed that, then that's worth checking out. youtube.com/lore. There is also a new Iron Gamer for NFL Blitz, I believe, which you were involved in, Jesse. Yes.
I have no words for that game. Screw that game.
All right.
Not realistic with his stupid ass throws. I hate you, game.
So definitely watch it, because it sounds like it's 20 minutes of Jesse yelling, which is always entertaining. So go and have a look at that.
Stupid.
Yep, so that pretty much rounds up what's on TGS this week. So, Chugga, what are you doing on your channel? What can we expect?
As of right now, I'm currently doing Pokemon Coliseum as my main project, which is a console Pokemon RPG. Yes, it's also in 3D. Yeah, X and Y were not the first games to be like that.
Yep.
For some odd reason, people seem to forget it exists.
Well, it's the first mainline game that was like that, though, right? Like,
yeah.
all of the Colosseum and Gale of Darkness and all that shit was like a spin-off game, right?
Well, it's still part of the main series. The thing is, it has the same turn-based gameplay as the main series.
Okay.
It's compatible with the main series, the Game Boy Advance games in multiplayer.
Yeah.
Pokemon you catch and it count in the Game Boy Advance games as well. It's just, I don't know why a lot of people think it's a spin-off, though. I mean, like, it has the same gameplay, so I don't really think it quite counts as one.
Okay.
Plus, on top of that, you actually needed them to complete your Pokedex, but then again, that's not really anything new for spin-off games.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm doing on my main channel is Pokemon Coliseum. And then also on my collab channel, The Runaway Guys, we're currently doing Wii Party, which is going to be wrapping up soon, and we're going to be having a tournament after that involving a bunch of people, but I won't spoil exactly what game it is.
All right.
Wow.
Okay. And Jesse, what are you up to?
rapidly progressing through Dead Space 2 and murdering little golem children. It's wonderful. I enjoy that. Doing some amazing work on. We just uploaded an RPG Makers. So if you want to hear the story of how Thomas was kidnapped by an Asian hooker, it is an amazing tale. And then monkeys gave his little brother rabies. So it's definitely worth checking out. And other than that, just doing my usual, going around and having fun. Dishonored's almost done. And I will probably start doing the actual legit playthrough of Tokyo Jungle very shortly, because that game is amazing.
Oh,
and that's
yes. Yep. All right, other stuff to check out for me this week. You should head over to Rose's channel, because there is a Nerdy Nummies with me making Half-Life American-style biscuits, and it is reasonably funny. That went in an interesting direction very quickly. It's worth checking out. YouTube.com/Rosa. I can never pronounce her name correctly. Rosanna Pansino, I believe. Yeah, it's hard to spell. Go check
just
that out.
Just call her Rosie. Just say Ro-Ro.
Yeah. Or worst comes to worst, if you just have a look.
Mr. J.
If you have a look,
sorry.
God damn it, guys! If you have a look at my like and favorite feed on the YouTube, it's easier just to find it that way. What else?
Jesse and I are overpowering TotalBiscuit.
We had to get out a Jetsons joke. I'm sorry. The Jetsons were
super relevant. You got any Titanic jokes while you're on it? You want to stay real fucking topical? I mean, God.
Or I don't might as well make
so much.
I don't know, Mr. J. Sorry.
Shut up. All right. Yeah, what else? So there'll probably be a compilation of kind of best moments from the PlanetSide Ultimate Showdown, which was a live event, loads of crazy propaganda speeches. We managed to recover the opening speech, which was awesome, so I'll probably put something together for that. PlanetSide content will continue kind of at a regular basis, as it always does. Like, when I've got something good to show you, I will do that.
Speaking of PlanetSide, there is a really creative video someone made. I think they're trying to get me to join your outfit.
Yeah, the Brit guys are doing that, yeah.
Yeah, and it's a video that is like that lost footage style, where it's like shaky cam and static, and then of course they find the space butterfly, and it's like the footage ended there. And I was like, all right, you guys are talking
what we'll probably need to do actually is to have you set up a rival outfit and actually fight us, because that would be much more fun. Currently our server's got too many TR in it. Yeah, you go and recruit like Vanu Sovereignty guys or whatever and come onto the server, and then we just wreak some havoc.
It's going to end badly for me. You just want to beat me up again. Why is that the case?
I don't know. I just find it enjoyable to do that. I can't imagine why. And WTF is going to be pretty major by the looks of it. There's all sorts of stuff. I want to try and do Assault Horizon. I want to do DMC. I'm currently working on that at the moment. I want to do Final and Dungeon Land. So, we've already seen us kind of Let's Playing like, oh, great, this is amazing in Dungeon Master Mode, but I actually want to play the game and see if it's any good. So, yeah, don't be taken aback too much by that. I'll also be looking at Strike Suit Zero. I have code for Retrovirus. I have the beta of Crysis 3. There's a new update for Warframe, which is apparently full of content, which I'm going to check out. What else have I got on the team box? Holy crap. I've got Emerta, City of Gangsters. What else is there? Jeez, it's actually crazy, the amount of stuff that's coming. I'll do Dead Space 3. I've got a new thing of MechWarrior Tactics, but I'm under NDA for a little while, so I can't show you that. I have Sins of a Dark Age, which I'm also under NDA for. I'll be able to show you that quite soon. And I apparently have a bajillion codes for this, so I'll be able to show you an awful lot of stuff there. I'll be doing Dawnstar. What else is coming out? Jesus, this is insane. Antichamber, I have the video for already. Hopefully that's coming out tomorrow. I can't do those because they're Sega. Screw those guys. There's a new Bit Trip Runner game coming out at the end of February. But looking into that, but I think I'm going a little bit too far ahead of myself here. Yeah, so a lot of shit coming your way. Content patch, as well as a bit more Dota, WTF is, and then, of course, we'll be starting Blood Bowl. So everything's getting on down in February, and I'm not going anywhere in February as far as I know. So this will be a nice focus before Hell Month. March is going to be pretty crazy for me. Mostly because of PAX, but there's a couple of other things that people have probably figured out by now, but I don't want to announce because it hasn't been announced yet. But, yeah.
That's it.
That's it. That's what's happening. Lots of cool stuff over the next week or so.
November.
Yeah, February is crazy. It's crazy. Lots of good stuff coming your way. And
I
that
like
pretty
how
much
our version of crazy is like you get videos on the internet.
you get more
It's
videos.
crazy.
Yeah, you get all
It's
sorts of stuff.
crazy.
That make me
It's,
crazy.
it's so crazy. Internet
Yep.
video.
I might do Proteus as well just because it looks really weird. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Okay, I think we're done. Are we about done? I think so. So
We
please
are
go,
super done.
yeah, go check out our channels right there. YouTube.com/CynicalBrit, my StarCraft content on TotalBiscuit, Jesse Cox for Jesse, and of course, ChuggaConroy with 2 A's and 2 G's. Don't miss that up. You'll want to watch his stuff, and I'm not going to promote the other person because she's a slacker, and she should have been here, and she wasn't, so screw her. I'll ignore the fact that she's actually on a plane back from France. I think she's just landed, but screw her. There's in-flight Wi-Fi.
She's probably in first class, though, with her baguettes and her French men.
And bonbons. Don't forget bonbons.
God damn it.
I was making Jesse jealous of my foreign candy, like, while we were on break.
Yeah,
that's why
as well you should, because he gets sent it. Wait, we were sent it. Thank you to Haley, I believe, that sent us 2 Flakes, a Snickers, and a Twix. Snickers and Twix is already available over here, but the UK version's better. Flake is not, and it's great. And I ate both the Flakes within about 10 minutes, and they were all over Jesse's sofa. Like, there's a mess. I don't know if he's even noticed yet. It's like... It's
I did!
I
did!
Yep.
I cleaned it.
Yep. The crumbliest, flakiest chocolate is all over Jesse's couch. It's wonderful.
What's happening right now?
Yeah.
What is...
It's great. All right, but yeah, thanks for that. Much appreciated. And I think that's pretty much just about done. Follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/TotalBiscuit or twitter.com/CynicalBrit if you want the video announcements and no bullshit. Jesse Cox and OMFG Kata for him. And is it still ChuggaConroy?
Yes.
Yeah, nice and easy. Unified branding. Yeah. ChuggaConroy for that.
And then you have like Total Halibut and the Cynical Bread and Total Biscuit.
I'm all over the place. It's terrible.
Superior brand. No, I'm kidding.
No, it's not a superior branding. It's awful. We're trying to change that. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, folks. Very much appreciated. We will most likely see you at the same time next week, hopefully with a full complement. If Slacker McSlackerson gets her slacks on and gets in gear.
She's French now. Oula-dee-da.
Oh, yes. Oh, sorry. Les Slacker.
Thank you.
Les Slacker.
It would actually be La Slacker.
La Slacker, feminine.
Let's get it right. La Slacker.
La Slacker.
Yes.
All right, well, thank you so much for having me. I had a great time.
As always, I'm glad I didn't get caught and killed by tornadoes. That's always good.
As always.
Actually,
that's a plus.
Up now.
All right, okay. You go hide in the bunker, and we'll finish the show. Thank you very much, folks. You're watching the Game Station Podcast. Goodbye.